Oi, oi, happy Flaterday. Wiggly, squiggly, flat thumbs. Let me just check my comms in order. If I get any audio issues, please let me know. So it's here again, Flaterday, the best day of the week, the most exciting day of the week. And today will be very, very juicy and a lot of fun. And when I say juicy, I mean, this is really good, what I'm going to offer to you today, guys, because this has been an investigation ongoing, but I was looking for more evidence because that's what I'm going to do today. You can take it or leave it. I'm going to offer you evidence that the tomb of Tutankhamun and the discovery by Howard Carter was a swindle. And not only that, I think the whole narrative for ancient Egypt, and I've got good reasons to think this, guys. There are other narratives out there, you know. It's just this one, you know, backs up a multi-billion-dollar industry. Now, no one gives a flying fuck about ancient Egypt or Rome or any of this until the movies came along and contemporary books, etc. We just push all this, don't they? Films like Cleopatra by Cecil B. DeMille, the biggest production in Hollywood history, even till today, I think. So, welcome all. This is going to be exciting and this is going to be juicy, okay? From what I've been decoding. Let me get a big, massive shout to Otto, who's in the chat. We love you, Otto. You are the awesomest person. And a big thanks to Dirt Wizard as well. Big shout to you. Just become a channel member. I do appreciate anyone who's become a channel member. I've got a few members, I think 100. And anyone who shares, thanks, Deb, for sharing this. Anyone who shares, likes, or subscribes, big, massive shout out of appreciation to you too, guys. Thanks so much. Right, down to business. Much love to Cheryl Bailey, who's front row seat in the chat. Marcel as well, my old brother there. In Bob Sykes. Let me bring you up on the screen, man. He's giving me a wiggly, squiggly epicness. Well, tonight I'll be your host, Marticus van Vloefhoffen, which I think is quite, I think it actually suits me. Marticus van Vloefhoffen. What is your name? Marticus van Vloefhoffen. That sort of makes sense. It's like, yeah. David, good to see you. David Gostabid. And Janine, good to see you as well. Seen you about a lot lately. And Dirt Wiz. And front row seat. And my old brother, Alva Billy. You're awesome as well, Alva Billy. So, yeah, all your flat earth British wiggly fat feminists. Milo, you've been watching Autodidactics vid all night. You've been addicted to old Cambridge, is it? Oh, I love Campbell too. He's my awesome brother. Hippie Shake, good, much love to you. Thank you for sharing, Cheryl. Steve Rogers is in the house. Evening. So I'm going to let a few of you rally in. I'm going to be sharing some awesome stuff, guys. Awesome pictures. I got so much juice in this. But I won't be able to like stretch it out over 3 hours, I don't think, because I've done like 5.5 hours of interviews yesterday and I feel a bit talked out. I've had a headache all day, but I'm all right now. So reasons why I think that it's all bullshit. Now, it's always right. I'll start here. Hi, Banks. I'll start here. You can look on AI yourself and find this out for yourself. The Victorians were notorious hoaxers and fakers. They liked to fake and hoax a lot of stuff. Now, if you look into the fact that they are earning a hell of a lot of money at the time, you can look into narratives like the Bone Wars. Okay, the narrative for finding dinosaurs around that time, before then, they were like, you know, they were just lizards, to fill the recently built Natural History Museum. Well, the story of Egypt or Egyptology runs along those lines, guys. It's a load of Victorian British, Dutch and Germans, right? All of a sudden getting a massive, massive stiffy for all things Egyptology. So what do they do with this stuff? Well, it's supposed to be worth oogles of money, isn't it? And it's all like fabulously expensive. This is why they were using mummies to power steam trains in the late Victorian era, because it's so rare. I'm going to propose, with good evidence, guys, like I said, you can take it or leave it, that the narrative for ancient Egypt is bullshit. And the, the pushing of the pyramids, the pushing of Karnak, Upper Symbol, the pushing of Memphis, and all of these temple complexes is Disneyland. This civilization is much more recent than you would suppose. I'm saying like taken up by Noah's flood in the last 1,000 years. We'll look into that when we look into the Valley of the Kings. Now, this book is fantastic. Hieroglyphics. You can learn to read and write Egyptian hieroglyphics in hours, not years. The big surprise is that the language that unlocks hieroglyphics is not Coptic, it's Welsh. And this was by Rossage Sausage, my awesome brother, Ross Broadstock, who recently passed away. We loved very much over here on Flat Earth British. But he was bringing big truths, and he's no longer here. I read this week. This is a book on Tutankhamun's treasures. And the clues that I picked up from this are just unbelievable. All of this fine looking ornamentation and jewelry that looks like it was literally made yesterday. But we're going to be looking into this thing. The famous, immaculate, most priceless item humanity can think of. The Mask of Tutankhamun. Well, you'll find that the narrative is a narrative of convenience. We'll start with Napoleon Bonaparte. Apparently he was a thing. So he sends somebody out in Rosetta, up in the Nile Delta, the town of Rosetta, to find something that can decipher these hieroglyphics. He comes back with this big stone that's got ancient Aramaic, Greek, and all lo and behold, now for the first time in the late 1700s, we can actually see what these hieroglyphics are saying, according to the Freemason Napoleon Bonaparte and the classical construct that they give us, the narrative that they give us. But there is a flip side, and that is true. So I'm not buying the narrative that they give us for the gods, for these, all of the dynasties up to the 18th. We're going to look up into now, and the reign of Ramesses and all that. I'm going to pick it all apart, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Okay, guys, I'm not auto-hoaxing here, guys. I've got good reason to be suspicious here. I'm going to go as far as to say, in the past, a lot of these items are just flawless, look modern, and there is evidence that they are. And there's gold, a lot of gold. Now, I don't think gold was mined in the past. I actually think, yes, Wilson and Blackett, Joel. I actually think gold was manufactured in the past. I think that they had the alchemical technologies down to just make gold. So I think they had unlimited supplies of it. But it's also an awesome way to launder gold, is to turn it into something that is Egyptian. And that becomes the most priceless item in humanity, just because they say it was ancient. Okay, well, we're going to look into that. We're going to look into the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, because there's so many aspects that I could pull apart on the narrative for Egypt, guys. But I'm just going to focus on this one just for this episode, because it is a vast bullshit. It's a vast load of bullshit, and they do it with all of it as well. Knights of the Round Table, knights, stabby knights, like the knights of the Battle of Agincourt. It's just stupid. You fall in the mud, you're dead. It makes no sense. It's all ridiculous. All of it. All of the narratives for history make zero sense to me for some reason, because it's just that. Narratives. Now I'm going to let a few of you rally in. We got 324 of you. So yeah, the clues in that Tutankhamun book, the author of it is mind blown because of the impossibility of finding Tutankhamun's tomb. Okay, so I find this narrative with a lot of history. When we were looking for the most ancient civilization, we went to Turkey. There was a bit of stone sticking up out of the ground. And then we find a 10,000-year-old site. I was like, right, okay, they do that. And then they look for the only artifact of what Nefertiti, Tutankhamun's mother, looks like. And then there's a whole press crew there for the discovery. Yeah, it just makes no sense. And with the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, Lord Carnarvon, a Welshman here, a lord, he puts up the money because he's in financial straits. And he needs the money to fill up the exposition of London, and because they had an Egypt exposition, and he wants to fill up the new history museum that is just being constructed in London, apparently. Okay, so he wants to fill it all up with Egyptology. So Howard Carter, shit or bust, okay, goes in search of the fabled tomb of King Tutankhamun, the most famous of all kings. Okay, and the discoveries that they find, okay, and not everything that you would think. There's going to be a few surprises with this discovery, which I found out, which I'm going to share with you today. So make sure to share this out. Thanks for being here, guys. This is going to be awesome. So yeah, we got a lot in this, actually, guys. Later on, we're going to be looking into some trippy stuff, a bit of German romance of Herpin. It's really strange. And a Cardiff skeleton that's got discovered with many questions later on. The strange discovery of Levon Biss. That's nuts. Wait till you see Levon Biss. Biss, B-I-S-S, Biss, like bliss. And the narrative at the beginning of this post, which is going to be hopefully very enjoyable and awesome. Okay. Well, I hope everybody's getting along really lovely and loving on one another. I can see some human interactions going on there. It's good to see, good to see. So Lord Carnarvon had a hotel in Brushford near, oh, excuse me. What was that? I can't actually see that, excuse me. Okay, well, we're going to talk about the Mummy's Curse a little, because that kept people away from all of this stuff, thinking that, oh, well, I won't steal it because there's the Mummy's Curse. And Lord Carnarvon, who's mentioned during this comment, he was affected by the Mummy's Curse, apparently. He was in a hotel in 1923, a year after the discovery, got bit by a mosquito in a Cairo hotel and died of blood poisoning. Well, pneumonia and blood poisoning. Septicemia because of a mosquito bite. Okay, so people said, well, that is the Mummy's Curse. But that night, that very night, some say in the narrative that his dog back here in Wales howled itself to death the very night that Lord Carnarvon died. So there's this whole narrative. There was supposed to be a mummy on the Titanic, a cursed mummy on the Titanic. They were taking it to an American museum. I went up to the Titanic or the Olympic or whichever one. Cinema. So yeah, I noticed that 2 years ago, guys, when I was in Houston, in Texas, the museum there in Houston was exhibiting the Tutankhamun exhibition. Okay, so they had like Tutankhamun's head mask over and a load of Tutankhamun stuff. For you to go and visit in Houston, I thought, right, yeah, but it's just like program, isn't it? To ship this shit all around the world, just to imprint that the Egyptians were all about this and keep that money wagon going, because it is the money earned off walk like an Egyptian. Do 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 do. Yeah, do you remember the old sand dance? Dun 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 dun. I used to love that. What were they called? The sand dancers. Anyway, it'll come to me later on. They usually do. So, Ian Biggs, good to see you. The bangles, yeah. Suzanne Hoff still looks yummy, actually. I've seen her on a Facebook thing the other day. But I do think some of the bangles were actually female. I'm not sure about the guitarists, but I don't know. It is Hollywood, isn't it? Walk like Wilson and Blackett. Was what I was just thinking, is similar to the name of the sand dancers. It was like that. Anyway, matters not, content. We'll do rock and roll trivia later, considering you all love it so much. I did an hour of that last week. I went on a storm. I'll ask you some questions as well. Got some good questions for you. Okay. Yeah, I can name you another Bangles record then, except for Walk Like an Egyptian, because I can't think of any. maybe one, which I can't think of right now because it's so crap. Okay, Otto's woohooing me. I'm going to get straight into the juice here, guys. Okay, so buckle in. Do feel free to share. It is a Flaterday night. I expect there's a squillion people out there looking on YouTube with shit all to do, wishing they had somewhere to go where they could hang out, get their minds blown, and have a little giggle all the while. I bet there's plenty out there like that. Start here. Can you see that? Okay, Tutankhamun. So the Mask of Tutankhamun is the most mind-blowing thing in antiquity, isn't it? You know, the thing is, actually, if you look at it close up, it's not actually flawless. There's a few errors in the production, and the quantity of gold included. They tell us it's gold, don't they? Not that we can have a little scratch and sniff test. And some people say that there's a Mandela effect, that he only had one serpent on his head and now he has some strange serpent and this serpenty thing, which don't really look like a cobra, the head on it maybe. But as you can see, I guessing this is lapis, but you can see there's, you know, little marks off and there's little bits here. Can you see on the mask itself, errors here, and also he's got big loopy earrings, a bit like the New Ages and stuff like to do in the modern day, you know, with the big old loopy doopy earrings. They have these strange beards, don't they, the Egyptians? But this polishing. So the questions are, guys, I don't know what this hole is, but it does really look like a bullet hole, doesn't it? There's a hole there, but it's not on the other side. So yeah, precious jewels, lapis, etc. I guess, yeah, rubies, and it's made of solid gold. So this has always been an enigma, guys, for the reason being because of the, you know, our knowledge of the ancients is how are they doing this? How are they pouring gold? How are they shaping it? How are they polishing it so seamlessly and producing form in such a way in the ancient world out of gold? It's like these people are supposed to be, you know, just got the wheel and the chariot and the horse and carty. How are they producing it? So it has been an enigma like the crystal skulls for antiquity since this thing was found in 1922. Yeah, it's a goat beard, but did you know the Sphinx had a beard and they took it off, and it's you can see it in the London Museum, the British Museum, of the goatee of the Sphinx. So it had one in the past apparently, and they removed it. So I don't know what the score is with it. It's got to be something to do with ether tech, isn't it? You know, and you're connecting with the ether. I think it is anyway. So there he is, Howard Carter. Oh, let me just go through this narrative. This is a wooden esophagus, and in the inner sarcophagus is where you're going to find the golden mask and the actual remains of the teenager that was the King Tutankhamun. Okay, so they say. Now, it's very convenient, all of this. Now, this guy in this book here that I read, guys, just said it's mind-blowing. It's like 1 billion to 1 that he should have ever discovered Tutankhamun's tomb when he was looking for it. And this fact that the tomb that he had found had not been prepared for Tutankhamun. In fact, all of the cartouches and all of the paintwork that are in the tomb of Tutankhamun have no reference to the boy king whatsoever. The tomb had been prepared for someone else. There was a bigger, more elaborate tomb apparently being prepared in the very auspicious Valley of the Kings. Have you seen it? What place to sit kings? Another more elaborate chamber for the boy king, but it hadn't been completed by the early death of Tutankhamun. Some say there's a lot of controversy around that there's some sort of murder afoot. But anyway, so this is how he discovers this. He goes out, right? It's a shit or bust, guys. He's got to find the treasure. He's got to find Tutankhamun's tomb. So what does he do? He goes into the Valley of the Kings. Now, the Valley of the Kings is said, okay, to be caked. All of the entrances to these kings' tombs are caked in mud, it says. from when this area was underwater. There is seashells and stuff in all of that rubble and mud in front of the chambers in the Valley of the Kings. Well, have a think about the Valley of the Kings itself. Well, it's not very prestigious to stick the most powerful people in the world in this shitty little valley of dirt and mud where all of these treasures are. Or maybe it looked different in the past. Okay, so it was said in the beginning. Okay, so they go in search, and I'll give you the rundown on how they come across the chamber. But the words, the very famous words, a bit like Neil Armstrong, one giant crock of shit for mankind. Well, can you see anything? Yes, wonderful things. So this rope door that they undo, the rope has apparently stayed okay and it hasn't been disintegrated. Appreciate that the air's dry, it's been in the desert, but this area was underwater. And the rope that fixes the door, we'll look at it in a minute, hasn't had any tarnish. I would have thought after all these many thousands of years, if you touched a rope, it would have disintegrated, but that's just me. Anyway, another thing I want to draw to your attention is, what are they using for lighting? This is like, there are deep shadows, but they got shit hot lighting down there. Where are they getting electricity from in 1922? Out there in Cairo, out on the Giza Plateau. I'm guessing they took a generator, okay? And they got all of this illumination. So they're constructing a narrative and saying, he looks in there and this is what he sees. I've got, I actually went through the inventory for what these items were. They were apparently just stored like that, haphazardly, shittily, okay? So they're like, what was their mentality? Oh, well, when the boy king rises in the afterlife, he can sort all that shit out himself. Because apparently this is all the stuff the boy king's going to need for the afterlife. He's going to need the jeds. He's going to need a golden horse. He's going to need, actually, not a lot of this stuff, guys. In this box here, he wasn't found alone. He was found, his body was there. He was a teenager. And the body of 2 stillborn babies. Still, no one knows. And not only that, the narrative for who his actual mother is, you know, that the information behind King Tut is awfully sketchy. There's 3 contenders, obviously Nefertiti, but also this other, who they regard as the young woman, who is possibly his mother. And also the narrative of his sister was his true mother. All very complicated business with the ancient Egyptians. Still haven't really got to grips with what the scarab beetle represents with these, you know, except for something to do with maglev technology. But I remember in that strange Gothard tunnel demonic worshipping thing that they did, there was a lot of emphasis on the scarab beetle there. So there it is. They worked their way. So this is what happens. He goes into the Valley of Kings and he stumbles across an entrance to what looks like a tomb. It takes a day to get all of the shit out, and then he discovers the tomb of Ramesses II. Ramesses the Great, guys. Now, Ramesses the Great's tomb, okay, had been robbed twice. Howard Carter had stated, if this has been robbed twice, then it'd be an utter miracle if anything would remain in the tomb of King Tutankhamun that he's still expecting at this stage to actually discover. Really weird. Like he knows, you know. So yeah, these are the things in the tomb itself. As you can see, there's just representations here and boats, scarab beetles, baboons, etc. But it won't be about King Tut because this wasn't prepared for King Tut. So there is the kings all marked out, KV49, KV57, which king goes where. So yeah, Ramesses II, he lived about 2 centuries before Tutankhamun, okay? Now, as you know, Tutankhamun's father was Akhenaten, you know, who's got a massive shaped head, hasn't he? He's a cone head, and possibly that's Barack Obama. Anyway, Ramesses II. So he gets into Ramesses II's tomb. They find the body of Ramesses. I can show you that. And then Oh, just off the Ramesses II's tomb, they find a level that was dropping downwards, and then what looked like possibly another entrance. So he's like, well, that can't be to another chamber because the robbers would have definitely gone down there, and it would be impossible, he says, for thousands of years of people knowing that Tutankhamun's tomb was somewhere in the Valley of the Kings with the greatest treasure ever found, which it was, okay, conveniently never ever got robbed. But Ramesses got robbed twice at least. So Ramesses II's tomb is on top of Tutankhamun's tomb. The one that had been prepared for the boy king was somewhere else. Okay. So there's nothing to say in here that it's anything to do with Tutankhamun. The stuff is bunged in there haphazardly, and it's a shit or bus gig. He's got to find something. Anyway, the next day, he gets all of his aides, his helpers, the Egyptians, to bucket out of this opening, okay, a shitload of mud. And some of it had aggregate from, he said, seashells and stuff. So the water had been in there. The water had been in there. So, interesting point, especially with the rope. Anyway, and the artifacts not looking like they've been water damaged. See, there's inconsistency in the tale there, you see. So, anyway, she's got a comb made. Okay, so Akhenaten, Nefertiti, others have all got this elongated skull. Has Tutankhamun got this elongated skull? Well, we'll have a look. Anyway. So the dig goes on throughout the next day. And lo and behold, the exact words were, I have had fabulously good fortune. That's what he said, fabulously good fortune. He had found a corridor. So he's anticipating that this is the boy king. He finds the corridor, which goes on to an antechamber and 3 separate rooms, one of which has got the tomb, apparently, of the boy king, and another room full of the greatest riches, full of gold, full of all of these different things, and the bodies of 2 stillborn babies. He was an 18-year-old. He was old enough to reproduce. It could have been something to do with him, but why would they have been stillborn? Why would they have been buried there? So some of the artifacts, if you go through them, the list of them, all you do is you think to yourself, well, that is mind-blowing to think that antiquity could produce such artifacts out of ivory, alabaster. They're using just unbelievable, hard to shape glasses and products. Yeah, well, not glass, but this to me, I think what's going on here with the tomb itself is, if I was to hazard a guess, I'd say that this was a scam, a swindle to make $1 billion, which it did. And it's still making money in modern day because you go and visit it, can't you? Is that they've collected artifacts, maybe fraudulent artifacts, because the Egyptians are massive on fraudulent Egyptology shit. Okay. That is known, and they have stacked them haphazardly against in this room of the antechamber, including a full-size chariot, because the king is going to need to gallop around on his first-class chariot in the afterlife. Only he's going to have to, pull it around himself because they didn't give him any horses, you see. So there's that. He had really beautiful items, though. Gloves. Look at these gloves. And these little tiny little hands. And somebody which looks like they're slaughtering some lion or some cattle. But all of this, solid gold, priceless. The GZ. I posted about this being possibly a form of free energy transport, but this stone is just beautiful, isn't it? The quality is immaculate. So how do you think they did it in ancient Egypt? All right then, we'll just say this. We'll say that they were doing advanced technology, laser cutting shit and 3D printing shit, and doing all of those fabulously modern things back in Egypt. That could be a possibility. Or the other possibility is that they're a bunch of swindling fuckers and this stuff is modern. Or they collected some of it up from other antechambers, piled it all in with the gold and the esophagus, all to do the narrative of, oh, such wonderful things. Words that live in infamy. Words that just go on. Because everybody knows what Howard Carter said when he discovered Tutankhamun. So, yeah, he'll need that for the afterlife, because apparently it's boring as shit being dead. So there's that. We're dead now, so I'm worried about that. And models of homunculus. It's just crazy how many homunculus show up in this Egypt stuff. So maybe he wants to play, maybe they're going to come to life in the afterlife and be his aides, be his helpers, his maids and stuff. Who even knows? So boxes full of treasures, wood that hasn't tarnished or anything in thousands and thousands of years. So there's the boy king's golden sarcophagus, and it is got crooks. They always have these crooks. I still don't know what's going on with the crooks. Very serpenty though, aren't they? And just encrusted in jewels and lapis, and just fabulously produced. Solid gold. They say it's solid gold. Obviously, I haven't had an analyzation, but they have analyzed it recently and they've x-rayed it, which has changed the narrative slightly, I've noticed. So, ceremonial dagger, I noticed that this is glass on the end. When the Romans are attributed to making glass, yet here in ancient Egypt, you can see a glass hilt on a beautiful ceremonial dagger, which is numbered H0153. Why would they mark antiquity? And apparently, you know, these people in antiquity, these Victorians, they ransacked Egypt, guys. They paid no regard for the antiquity there. They just chucked everything about. It's not like modern antiquity, you know, archaeology. So there's Anubis. Very strange, the old amount of cryptids that are included in the narrative for Egypt, isn't it? But this one is flawed terribly. There's a crack. I couldn't tell you what it's made out of or anything. It looks to me like a bit of paper mache, but that's just me. So, you know, do know that the Victorians were big scammers, and they are big scammers in the modern day as well, aren't they? Yeah, everybody knows the internet is like a shit show of scammers. Well, it was the same back in the day, and this got everyone addicted. Everyone was thinking about Egypt and Cleopatra and the fine things of the Egyptians and the wonder of who these people are. Asians that are able to produce jewelry as elaborate as that. Look at that there, that scarab beetle. Well, wings open. It's definitely to do with the M. I think all of this is analogous for technology anyway. This is like maybe a schematic for some sort of computer. The all-seeing eye. Where's the camera on your laptop? Where's the camera on your phone? Yeah, it's right at the top, isn't it? And the serpents. Well, that's always in the narrative. The Catholics, they very serpenty in their speech. If you notice, when they're doing all of their churchy stuff, sounds like lots of with it. They're very serpenty, aren't they? But Moses actually changed the stick into a serpent, didn't he? And serpent as well was in the Garden of Eden, tempting Eve into knowledge. Like, because God said, yeah, you can't have knowledge. Okay, so gaslit. So there's this, but it's not about me anyway. So maybe he's just doing best. It's not me to judge the creator. Is it? He wrote the program after all. And I think that the program is being rewritten real time. I think that the program can be edited and changed. Just go back into the program and change a bit, isn't it? And it'll just be edited out of history along with your memory. You know, the old MIB's flashy thing. I think the flashy thing is real in some regards. I really do, guys, because the way the Big Brother book tells you that one day Oceania win, the next day Eurasia win, and everyone's like, hey, I won the show. Nobody knows. Everyone forgets. Everyone moves on. And I've noticed that studying the internet. How quickly people move on, especially with promises about space stuff like the space lift, the space hotel, going to Mars, going doing this, doing that. They've been saying for donkey's years, and then everyone's like, hey ho, they give them a date, they give you a date, and none of it actually happens. So the owl, ever present, even with Freemasonry, isn't it? The sun disk. I think that's to do a reset, and as I talked about, us being in hell and there's been another sun. So there is the skull. It does look a bit egg-headed. I got an egghead. Did you know I got an Akhenaten head? No shit, I have. Yeah. So this is the skull of Ramesses the second, king, the great King Ramesses. Okay, but they say if you look upon his dead body or his skull, especially on YouTube, right, that you will drop your pancake. So when you're cooking your pancake, you might drop it. Oh, fucking hell. So, yeah, the curse of the mummy. Why do they call them mummies? Mummy, you know, it just makes no sense. And they got all like bandages hanging off and that. So, yeah, the curse of the mummies made awesome films. So that was the early Bela Lugosi films and Boris Karloff films, the mummy films. Before then, nobody really knew about Egyptian stuff. Hollywood makes you know about all of it. Doing the cash cow. So this, okay, was the tomb of Tutankhamun. A wooden door in a tomb that's not prepared for him. Below Ramesses II, who's been buried 200 years before. There's been robbed twice, but the robbers who knew Tutankhamun was in this valley didn't find it. See, that's not ringing true to me, guys. Robbers are robbers. They wouldn't give the fuck up. Okay, if they thought there was the greatest treasures, they would have carried on going and not ignore that other chamber in Ramesses' chamber. Makes no sense to me. So I think that this is all a hoax. Okay, this rope, whoever tied this rope, and there's a wax seal on there, and this has been there for umpteen thousands of years and hasn't rotted, and they didn't put their hands on it and it'll fall away. Whoever tied this knot here has got is maritime, is seaman. Clovage, double clovage. See, in ancient Egypt. Right, are they up on seamen's knots in ancient Egypt? Well, it might be. More reasons why I think it's bullshit, guys, is this. Again, it could be the fact that the ancients had superior technology to do this, or the flip side of the coin is that it was modern technology. This is the mask of Tutankhamun. It's recently been x-rayed, only recently after all of that time, by scientists in Egypt. And they were shocked to find out this. They always thought that the mask was one chunk of gold. Turns out that the mask is made of multiple pieces that were welded together. They were welded together in a seamless weld that is not visible to the human eye. See, I got a problem with that, guys. Okay, maybe the Egyptians had shit-up technology that they could do laser welding of gold. That's what they're saying. There are seamless welds on the mask, and they're saying it's from ancient Egypt. And they find her in 1922. Okay, so what if this is just a good ruse for laundering gold, say? Some of the bent gold that the British have knocked off, because they were really good at knocking off stuff. This is what they do. And then they turn into a mask and make just gold 1,000 times more valuable just by doing that exercise. And this thing is not mint, guys. It's several pieces. And you can't, it's another year there, it looks like, as well. You can't, I'm not expected to believe that this is some sort of technology from thousands and thousands of fucking years ago, horse and carty, when they're running around in chariots and they're welding gold. There's something definitely off with that, I think, guys. I'm just saying. What do you think? Sorry? Sure, no, sure. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so here's Neff and Akhenaten here. And as you can see, I'm not sure if she's too much of a conehead, Neff, but he's definitely got a bit of a lump on the back of his head there. And that looks like it's on a gold plate on the back of this is Tutankhamun's throne, which was made of solid gold. So yeah, other sites as well I could go into, but like Abyssimbol, it's the greatest complexes like Karnak in the world. Next, I think Angkor Wat. I think Karnak's one of the biggest antiquity complexes, or is it Persepolis? One of them anyway, in the world. But I got pictures of this just messed up, deep in mud, and then they open it up and then they charge people a fortune to look at some modern plaster of Paris. What do you think about it all, Pussycat? Thought so. I noticed this as well on the stonework. Now, I worked as a stonemason for a few years, guys. This is called scutching, and it's produced by a tool called a French drag, which is a steel plate with teeth, steel teeth, a bit like a small saw blade. And you go like that on soapstone, bathstone, or limestone, soft stones, and it comes up like this. It's called scutching. And this is a modern thing that I've done in my life. So okay, so this rich paint here, see all this beautiful paint? Now I appreciate that the place is really dry, okay guys, but they do have rain and they have had snow in Egypt as well, and they do have floods, lots and lots of floods, and they have all sorts of weather that does come through Egypt. It does. Yet the paint stays immaculate. No problems with the painter at all. And they wrote an entire history and narrative, they did, guys, on the fake translation of hieroglyphics. The whole thing is just, see these here, these little power things? They look like electrical. They've got little balls on top. Little diged things. So yeah, and petals of flowers for column tops. So yeah, Ramesses II, yeah, he was a great conqueror. He did like loads of campaigns in Europe. He actually took Phoenicia down. Apparently Ramesses II was ruling Phoenicia for some time. But Phoenicia, Pharaohs, PH, you just put that PH in any of it, and that it's a big dollop of Phoenicia. So let's have a look at you. So cute. So yeah, if he knows it's a load of shit too. So there's that, and there's that Cronchial Anubis, very poor quality that is. Need to sort that out. And a little stool for the afterlife. You can see here, here's one of Tutankhamun's little stools, and chairs encrusted in gold and all of that for him in the afterlife, which is now in the Egypt Museum. And there's Akhenaten's head. He's only got the one serpent on his head, but you can see this elongated face, these weird almond eyes, and of course that lump on the back of his head. So they're almost like a different race, aren't they? Akhenaten and Kin. So yeah, the Valley of the Kings must have been more prestigious back in the day. You can see maybe that this has been bubbled and it might have been stone, and there's some sort of road going into it. I can't state if that's ancient. But, it just dawned on me, the greatest rulers, Tutankhamun, the peak of Egypt, fucking 18th dynasty, and they bury him in a fucking dirty hole in this valley. I just don't get it. I really don't. And all of the fucking kings are in here in antechambers and chambers in this shitty old hill, which apparently all of this debris is mud and silt, etc., because all of this region was said to be underwater. And yet, they the water didn't seep in here, did it? And this is the esophagus of Tutankhamun. Apparently, that big wooden thing that you see, and all of that gold mask, and the other big golden esophagus, were all in that. Looks a bit small to me, but maybe it's just the angle of the camera. So yeah, this thing is massive, and that is in the Egypt Museum. Solid gold, they say. And apparently, not that I've seen them, but people say they're affected by looking at it, a bit like Robert the Doll, and that they feel affected by looking at it. So yeah, Egyptians are really interesting people. I think they're just more European types. You know, they are on the Mediterranean. You know, sub-Saharan Cushitic women look like African women, and you can see that they still got the Egypt thing going on. But Egyptian women, they look like, I don't know, Algerians or people from the Holy Land or Greeks or Italians even. And, you know, Italy and Malta is just across the water, really, and Greece is just across the water from Egypt. So similar peoples, I think. Wonder what she's doing with that cone there. You see that with the pineal cone, don't you? The pineal gland cone, pine cone. They just like hold it there. Why would she do that? So another, topic of conversation with the antiquity crowds was the Benjamin stone. You know, the Khafre pyramid at some point, they say, and had come down. How, I don't know, and broke. But there is the mystery of how did they get the pyramid to be so smooth and varnished and perfectly pyramidical with an old antiquity. They say that it looks like advanced machinery, which it is because it was made probably in the Victorian era, along with the scammers. So in Inconvenience, the only bust that we have of Nefertiti, I think this is on display in the Berlin Museum, that they have a film crew there conveniently. Did they like find it twice, make sure the film camera are there? Because they're definitely posing here, aren't they? Yeah. Go out and find some evidence for Nefertiti. Found it. It's the only one in existence. And we've got the film crew there ready to snap that picture, that all-important picture. They keep doing that. It's like they're the luckiest people in the world. They're there for everything. It's like that Iwo Jima moment. Also, I noticed with that bullet hole, guys, is this. It ain't mint at all. It looks like, I'm not just saying like a reproduction, but for me, guys, look at that. Okay, there's a weld here, so they've welded. That is visible to the human eye. And these welds here are absolutely disgusting, actually. Just really, really rough. There's a hole there. Did they drill that to look what was inside? I don't know. Cuts on the neck. That looks like it's been put there since, doesn't it? That looks very unusual. 2 cuts on the neck. Like they cut its throat. Unless there was something else clipped in here, around its neck, and they stole that. And there was urines as well, and they stole that. So I'm glad to give people a new perspective on this topic, because there's lots of stuff that you may not have known about this case. I definitely think it's whiffy, guys, So there's Ramesses, as you can see, laying there in state. You can still see some of his hair. He's from Egypt, but he was a ginger. Ramesses II had ginger hair. He was a redhead. And they done a virtual reconstruction of Ramesses, what he would look like. And he would have looked like that. He would have looked like a Western Caucasian male. Ramesses the Great. These are Tutankhamun slippers. He's going to need these for the afterlife. They are crusted in gold and they are fabulous. Got to ask yourself, I don't get it that they just put in all of these fabulously expensive items in a tomb for the king to take in the afterlife. Did they just have that much booty that they could just do that? See, that don't even ring true to me. I know the Jews bury themselves with a bit of gold, don't they? So I hear. But they don't bury themselves with their Rolls Royce and their fucking, their Swiss bank account contents, do they? Or maybe they do. Anyway, so here's the boy king here. They got him on display. What is all of this caper around his neck? Looks like an astrolabe or something. What is this? What are these? I couldn't possibly tell you guys. I can't find any details in that book or any of my books, actually. So also another thing with Egypt is they say they make pristine glass eyes. Okay, now glass is supposed to be attributed to the Romans. Look it up on AI. They're not supposed to have invented or had the ability to go make glass, but then you have literally like photorealistic eyes, guys. Again, they say if you look into these eyes, I'm only joking. It's what you think it is, guys. Like just like voodoo, just like the mummy's curse. If you believe the mummy's curse is real, oh, mummy, oh, mummy. So yeah, this is the young Tutankhamun with his sister, who is apparently maybe his mother and not Neff, or the young lady that is also being implicated in who is his mother. But it's safe to presume that Akhenaten's daddy. I think he's got an elongated head as well, bit of a, bit of an egghead. But what's this little? He's got a little bit of a tummy on him as well. He's only 18, so what does he do? Just eat all the time, sit on his throne doing. Oh, I don't know. It's a mystery. So yeah, you can see them welds there that I just showed you there. They're really rough, and there seems to be something in the center as well, and another thing here. And yeah, there's a lot of mystery with this mask. There's a lot concealed in it. It's like 2 sets of ears as well, photo negative maybe, but still there's stuff missing and holes drilled and gashes across its neck. This is the statue of Ramesses the Great. This is in Memphis. They got him as a Mr. Marmite, Chris Eubank. Ramesses II. Giant. They got him as a giant, but we have his actual remains apparently, so it's not very gianty, but he wanted to be thought of as the great giant. Ramesses the Great. So yeah, Tutankhamun's not impressed with it all. I wonder what he'd be impressed with. The great king. They come along into 1922 and just rip that shit apart, nick everything, nick his body, stick it on display, nick his dad's body, stick it on display, and then, not his dad's, Ramesses' body on display, and anything else, just like totally disrespectful to the dead and a nation culture, if you ask me. The whole thing is just, what are you doing? But I have fancied seeing Tutankhamun's remains, and I have, but going on these close-ups and what I've studied in the last week or so, I got really big doubts. Yeah. Have you seen Tut Tut? You got a big thing about King Tut as well. Tut Tut. There, that's it. Tut Tut. So yeah, they play music and they just chill out all day, smoking bongs, I suspect. And brilliant thing about Egypt is they got belly dancers. I had a belly dancer once on Flat Earth British meetup on my local pub. A lady turned up. She actually did a real belly dance, and she could do that wiggle thing with the hips that they do, which is very, very nice. She's like, "Did you really need a belly dancer on our wedding?" He's pretending not to look, even though he's thinking, "Oh, fucking hell. Hey, you want to go up a pyramid? I got a camel ride. Do you want to go camel ride, mate? Yeah, 2 buy 1, get 1 free. Is that your wife? She's nice, isn't she? Cool. She got a pair of knockers on her. Sorry to say so, mate, but I'm from Cairo, innit, mate? So what do you want to do? Do you want to go up the pyramid? You're not allowed. I'll take you up at night. Give me fucking $100. $100, I'll take you to the pyramid. I'll show you a secret chamber that goes into a secret meeting room. They got a secret meeting room. Apparently a secret brothel. That might not be true. Have you got a secret brothel inside the pyramid? Oh yes. Might not be true. So Katie, yeah, she is like literally like Wonder Woman this week, isn't she? She goes to space. She hangs around with white bunny rabbit things, and she's also an Egyptian part-time, and she has the technology. Scary stuff, guys. Scary stuff. Okay, let's just look at the technology of belly dancing. I think she's definitely got it down. Wiggle. Okay. Belly dancing in Egypt. Oh my God, she nearly popped out. They never do, though, do they? Oh, hang on a minute. Guys, this girl got it on. I'm going to try that. Ah, my fucking shoulder. Don't do that. Ow. Okay, so belly dancing's good. Use Nefertiti. She got the old one. It's nothing to do with me, guys. Yeah, but look. So she's doing a goth dance. I think Nefertiti was probably a bit of a goth anyway. I think she liked The Cure. So let's have a little look at some of the items that were found in Tutankhamun's tomb. These are the photographs from the time when they took. Very well lit and very, you know, convenient. All of it is fucking convenient. The greatest treasures. And he went out to look for them as well. It's like, he's like, fuck me, I'm lucky. It's like, you know, shit. So he died at 18 years old. Beaten and burnished. Okay. Gold mask of the young king representing him in the age of death was 18 years old. So it's beaten as well and messed up. So yeah, the mask is not really mint, is it? And plus them loopy earrings that they were wearing. With them big holes in them. I don't like them. Ugh. So, you know, I don't think they knew anything about archaeology, did they? They just unwrapped it. It's like, oh, shit, its head's come off. Don't worry, Howard. Let's stick it back on. What we use? Spit. You know. Preparing the guardian statues for transport to the laboratory. So they stole everything. Apparently, the Egyptians didn't say anything about it. And they steal all of the stuff and they take it to the British Museum, where the British have got all this good Egyptian stuff. They take loads. They took Cleopatra's Needle, put it on the Thames embankment. So interior of burial chamber. Okay, there. So have you noticed that as well? Tut and Amen. It's got Amen on the end. But like Amun-Ra, isn't it? Okay. So it tells you about the Katushes. Osiris is included in that narrative. But it would be. The king accompanied by his queen and a lion cub shooting a wild duck. Oh, fucking hell. How could you shoot a duck? They're beautiful. Oh, God, what a monster. And when he died at 18, it's fucking karma for you. Shoot that duck and then he got electrocuted. The king seated in his cabinet, pouring perfume on the hands of the queen. Perfume. That's what they think it is. Perfume. I wonder if it is. Lotus blossoms and fruits. And of a mandrake. And the mandrake. Let's read that. She holds in her left hand the lotus blossoms, fruits, and the mandrake. Mandrake, there. Like the mandrake root, the mandrake man. Adolf Hitler won and had one. Wizard made for him, or told him to go and get in his birth town. He put it under his bed, his mandrake man. And then became into power a day or two later, because there was miraculous happenings which put him into power. And he states that it was through a mandrake root, and the guy turned out to be a Jew later on, so that didn't go that well for him, but he lived through most of the war till the end. Anyway, that's about Hitler and his mandrake root. So YouTube says, might be a load of shit, I don't know, but I definitely think if you think it's real, it will work, especially with mandrake roots, voodoo, and any of those things, because power to belief, guys. If you think it'll fucking do it, it'll do it. Okay, if you believe it will. God, people get rid of cancer just by their own belief systems and taking placebos. I think they can definitely fucking just do anything with their minds. Anybody can. So that looks like pencil. Oh, it is. A sketch upon splinter of limestone. Shit artwork. They had no fucking Da Vinci's back then, did they? It's always this same rubbish artwork. Look at it. Actually, this one's a bit more elaborate. They've got feathers on the horses, yeah. So Tut and Amen, lion hunter, Tutankhamen. I noticed with Ramesses as well, it's Ram a seas, like either seas or sea. like Ramesses, like Ramesses. I wonder if there's anything with that. So the interior of the burial chamber here. Let's have a little look. So you can imagine he came down here, thin corridor, took him down into the antechamber, and it's full of ores, because when he gets into the afterlife, he's definitely going to need to row his boat because of the ferryman. 2 Anubis emblems. The gold stick. Let's have a little look at this helmet. He seems to have an elongated head as well, doesn't he? And these strange oval eyes. I don't know if it's makeup doing that or whether they got strange oval eyes. I don't know. So these are his little helpers. And he just busts in shit. God, let's just pull that wall out. There's Egypt stuff behind there. Demolishing the partition wall, dividing the antechamber from the burial chamber. Like literally just demolish it. It's been there thousands of years. He couldn't give a shit about any of respecting this, holy king shrine. Opening the door of the second shrine. Let's have a look at his face. Oh, I wonder what's in there. Wow, I'm rich. Oh, there's the light source. They have got light source. This is a lamp, isn't it? Must have had generators taken with them. Opening the doors of the 4th innermost shrine. That's the last one. And a glimpse of the sarcophagus filling the entire area of the 4th. So it was like you'll see it now. It's just a gigantic wooden box. Yeah, that's in the museum now. The roof of the 4th, the innermost shrine. Let's have a look. So raising the lid of the sarcophagus, covered in linen. Not really showing you too much, but what a disrespectful thing to do. Is just dig them up and steal everything they got. It's like ballsed him up for the afterlife, haven't it? All that preparation and British antiquity skanked her all away. Yeah, chariots is a funny business. They got all of this technology to produce all this gold stuff, and they're still on horse and cart. I think they'd have sorted something out. Look at this quality. And these for the state chariots, for decorating the chariots. Like I said, he didn't take horses, so unless they got horses there waiting in the afterlife. Yeah. Wreath and garlands and flowers and linen shroud covered the second coffin. So like ancient flowers still there. We've got a glove on. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, that, isn't it? But they'll just pull it all off like it's just nothing. Won't even give a shit. So that mummification process isn't working for the Pope, because like when they put him on in state, like a day after, not that I think it's any of it's really happening. Grey down here. Even Lenin is in better quality, than the Popeski, a day dead, apparently. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, they picked it all off, and then the 3rd innermost coffin of gold there. Wow, all of that. This the bit around it, all of that gold. How did they lift it out of there? Maybe 6 men, 8 men can do it. I just can't imagine. Do you know the weight of gold? Gold bars, like, just gone. The mummy of the king when first disclosed. Let's have a look. They put it up. They stood it up. This is the moment they stood it up and took a snap. And that was solid gold. That's the one, the mask. And then all of this fine jewelry. I've got like an inventory I've been going through, like I said. Some, a lot of it is like beaded necklaces and stuff, but a lot of it is just priceless gold and models, a lot of models as well. So examination of the royal mummy. Like you give a shit. Let's go Howard Carter. It's got a magnifying glass. He looks like he knows his business, doesn't he? Yes, that's something to say at the working men's club. That's what he's thinking. God, I can't wait to tell them about my adventures and how lucky I was. Unbelievably lucky to find the biggest treasures or the most expensive treasures in the whole of humanity. Wow. He's like so lucky. He's like shit's gold, Howard Carter. He literally states he's the luckiest man alive. So there is, he has got an elongated skull, guys. He is a bit of an egghead, or a conehead, excuse me. And the head of the king's mummy is first revealed there. Okay. Elongated cranium, well-formed features, especially clearly marked lips. So he's got lips and pierced ears, noticeable in his portrait mask. Upon the head are remains of a skull cap and temple band. So yeah, it's elongated heads, just like the ones in Peru. I wonder if they were just the same race of people. And the ginger hair thing as well with Ramesses. They had ginger hair in Peru as well. And they had elongated heads as well, didn't they? So he's still got lips, man. All them thousands of years ago. It's mental, isn't it? And the beadwork device of the skull cap. Device. Funny phrase. With cartouches on it. So, yeah, I'm guessing the stuff that was on Tutankhamun referred to Tutankhamun, but the antechamber and the rooms themselves had no reference to Tutankhamun. Isn't that weird? And that's the excuse they come up with. Is, oh, he died young. The other one's not ready. We bunged him in here. It's like, right. It's not that it's not him then, is it? It's like, no, it's him. It's him. Right. Whatever. So, yeah, it all seems very convenient. And it seems like a narrative. It's all very romantic and awesome. Really not. Because they're fucking just, if this was a real thing, they just bastardized all over. You don't go and like dig up Henry VIII, do you? Stick him in a museum. It's not going to happen, is it? It's not going to do that. The British wouldn't do that. They do this because they don't give a shit about Egypt stuff. So that is just chariot, obviously, and all the things he's going to need for the afterlife: chariot wheels, crooks, solid gold, obviously. And I don't really know what they are. Owl with the sun disc. And this is basically a vase that I looked into. I got a color picture of it. Absolutely flawless, unbelievable stuff. The light, like you can see, the light shines through it. It's transparent, like porcelain, but it can't be porcelain because it's ancient, unless it's not ancient and it's a Victorian replica. How would you even know? They just tell you whatever in the history books, don't they? I think it's dead fishy myself, guys. And I think what I'm thinking makes a lot more sense than what they're proposing. Especially knowing that the Victorians were notorious for hoax. Look into dinosaurs, the bone wars, as I said. Okay, let's move on. There's just too many photographs to show you of the made by Alabaster. Yes, Genevieve Alabaster. So yeah, if you look at the maps, it gets a bit confusing. They say that in the old maps, like this one from 1600s, they got Cairo as Babylon. So the capital of Babylon, or Babylon itself, is Cairo, according to this map. But I'm not sure if you've seen this before, but if you look on the Giza Plateau, I'll show you better images. Now, you can see that the pyramids are on tops of mesas. Now, remember that only a week or so ago, or a couple of weeks ago, they're saying that these massive gadgets underneath them. But when you look at the old maps, and there are a few of them, they look like chopped down tree trunks, these mesas. And the pyramids are actually on top of them. There seems to be a tunnel as well here. So absolutely nothing like the current day Giza Plateau. And also, there's images with Lead Van ter Haar atlases, Kirchner, where there's multiple sphinxes and also the pyramids are not like they are today. And you can see maybe all this is filled in with mud and sand, but in them days, they're on tops of high cliffed mesas, which look surprisingly like tree trunks. And the Sphinx as well, or one of the Sphinxes, because there's other ones missing. Yeah, just like so. So I wonder why there's multiple old maps showing the pyramids on top of mesas. There's another one, German. The pyramids on top of what looks like a giant tree trunk. Looks like the Grand Canyon, India summer. Yeah. So there's another one you can see with no pyramids. Have a look. Which show no pyramids in this map. This could be just AI fuckery all the while. And then you get this Biss map. And you can see, again, Sphinx, the 3 pyramids, the smaller pyramids, pyramids all the way across the Giza Plateau, and this tunnel thing. But they're all on these mesas. Strange stuff. I wonder why all of that is on multiple old maps. But that one, another one as well. And it looks a bit Starford here, I must say. So maybe there was a mud flood since then that filled all this into the level that it is today and buried all of this. Because they say that the Valley of the Kings was literally buried in mud. They say it was underwater for the longest time. So, and it's really, high, this this cliff of the plateau. Yeah, they could literally just get diggers, dig all this away, and find out what's going on. This thing could be infinitely bigger. This could be just the top, all we know. Or maybe them gadgets actually exist, which I very much, excuse me, Coca-Cola, doubt. But look at the imagery of the reflection. It brings out a diamond. Maybe that's what's underneath, just like that. North and south magnets, just like Mount Meru. So in my last post this week, if you have caught it, I showed you how the Sahara Desert, including Egypt, okay, and we know Alexandria has a load of remnants of old Egypt that's under the sea, okay, by here, Alexandria. So I have shown you in my last post, okay, that the Sahara Desert was eradicated, wiped off the face of the earth for less than 500 years ago. So that ancient Egypt narrative and all of that stuff has to be a lie. It was like this. Ancient lakes of Sahara. I did tell you that there was multiple, there's aquifers all in the Sahara Desert, as there is in the deserts in America, like New Mexico, etc., Arizona. Lake Chad is a shit ton smaller in the modern day. Apparently getting smaller all the while. But you can see these giant lakes in Algeria here and in Mali, Mauritania, where I proposed that the African eye was right by here, was part of this possible comet event or possible Faches event. But if it was destroyed 500 years ago, the narrative for ancient Egypt getting destroyed at the exact same time, I believe, okay? And then all of the other bullshit that has come out later is a narrative that has been constructed by academia. And they always do it, guys, and they always make shit up. Our research and our discoveries are as valid as any of academia's. I'm going to show you of that. Okay, they're just not thinking outside the box. Anyway, we're moving on. Thank you, Otto. Love you. Thank you, Liddy. Thank you, Hanson. Thank you, Ian Biggs. Thank you, everybody. Joshua Deemed, Scott Spellrine, all of you in the house. Thank you for being here. Anyway, Psycho Dave, are you in the chat? I've got an action figure made of me. I really love it. So there he is. I look like I'm like, there. Not so bad there. I got a laser beam coming up my ear. So yeah, a Marty Farty pack. So you get a pair of glasses, you get a flat Earth British tag, I guess, and you get some mushrooms. And I think it does really look like me as well. I got a shirt that looks exactly like that. I do. And use Martin Leaker starter pack. Anybody can be a Martin Leaker. All you need is a pair of glasses and a mouth like the Mersey Tunnel, okay? And be able to talk all of the time. And use a little microphone. Martin Leaker starter pack. There I am. That's what I'm like when I make my discoveries. How am I going to tell them? Oh, I'll break it to them slowly. I don't want to shatter their Bryans. So yeah, thanks, Psycho Dave. I really wanted an action figure. Anybody else wants to make me any action figures? You're welcome to do it. Let me stop sharing for a minute and find out what's happening in my chatteroony. Okay, well, 657 of you. Welcome to my Flaterday live. I'm glad you could be here today. 1 hour 16 into it. We got some pictures of antiquity to come, and my Scooby-Doo Flaterday pics of the week. And whatever else I can show you today. Breaking our Bryans, Estelle. Yeah, I don't want to hurt your Bryans. I want to more fluff them up, fluff your Bryans up so they think better. And you give, I like it when you think things you never thought before, because it produces new synapses in the Bryan, which, with the elasticity of the brain, produces more brain cells. So every time I think about and share with you concepts that have not been thought about before, really, you're getting new synapses, and your brain is liking it. Your brain is like, ooh, this is juicy to my Bryan. So that's what I do as well, with a nice big spluttering of humor. Project One. Vibes is in the house, Debs. Thanks for being here and sharing Floofy. We like Floofy on Flat Earth British. Flipping, fantastic. Thank you, Vibes. Let me know what you think in comments about my evidences, if you like. I think I'm on the right track. I definitely think that the tomb of Tutankhamun is a fake. The whole thing could just chuck it all in there from other tombs. Nothing to do with him anyway. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for being here, lovely. King Shin. Smalls, good to see you. Psycho Dave, thank you, mate. I just showed my awesome picture, maybe. Thank you, mate. And Kay's in the house. Skin Flint. Nice one, bro. Joshua Deem. N3L15. Why can't I see the live chat? Can't help you there. Over Billy. Free Soul Hippie. Ian Biggs. Wilson and Blackhair. Hollis, good to see you, my man. How's things over there? How about them mummies that are shipped over from America? Yes, as well. And I think John Levy talked about that they were using them as a fuel source for steam engines, like railway trains, etc. I don't think Wilson and Blackett's for absolutely everybody. It's very conflicting with certain narratives, is Wilson and Blackett. Like, that's why they got in so much trouble. Thank you, We Wins Warrior. We Wins Warrior. And tickets for events and everything that you can see in the descriptions box below. I did actually ring this week for an event to do a Flat Earth British meetup, like basically a Flat Earth British meetup with a DJ and munchies. And a little presentation or whatever. Tickles that fancy. Which will happen sometime this summer. I'm working out on a date which is convenient for everybody for it to be there. So just stick with it. I'm going to sort something out in the near future. Sandy D, for all of the Flat Earth British peeps. Somebody was just saying, oh, it's fucking shit. I got no truthers wrong by me. I got no one to talk to. No shit, Sherlock. We're all the same. So when we get together, it's a jolly good time and everybody's just loving every second. Jenny, being able to speak your mind. I don't think it actually costs money. I don't know, Romanian Bear. I would love an actual action figure of me. That would be brilliant. Love that. Colour. I wonder if they do that. Marianne Dimps. Thank you. All right, we're going to share some pictures of antiquity. We're going to look at the Tutarian antiquity of Eastern Europe, namely Poland, one of the jewels of Poland before the Second World War. It was a city that's similar architecture to Dresden or Vienna, the city of Warsaw. We're going to look at that in a minute, and some color pictures of Tutarian buildings because they are so beautiful, as you will see. And that will take us up to images of the day and anything else that I can get in. Like I said, I'm a bit talked out today. I've been talking so bloody much lately. Not that I'm moaning, I'm absolutely really glad. It's just my head feels like an elastic band. So here is Warsaw on the Vistula in Poland, a country that I've been to twice. I absolutely love Poland. I went there back in the communist socialist days, actually. I've never been there as it was when it was free. But even back then, because I was Estonian, it was awesome to me, man. It was awesome to me. They really, really loving on me. So I really love Poland. And I would love to go back as well. So yeah, they got a shit ton of massive antiquity with Phoenician statues in Warsaw. But as you know, a lot of these buildings were disintegrated in World War II. This is the City Hall, the Hotel de Ville in Warsaw. But yeah, with the Warsaw Ghetto, as you know, and the vast area of the center of the city of Warsaw turned to dust, looking like Hiroshima. A lot of these buildings have been built back in the modern day, I feel. They have done in, in Dresden. Like this square, I know is there. A lot of the buildings must have survived the Warsaw Ghetto and the bombings. But you look at this Polish market. So the Polish had an elite structure as well and very fine stuff. But the people were definitely kept down. And when I was there, I couldn't even fucking believe it. So they had to there was a queue for people, right? And I'm like, what are they doing? It's like they're queuing for a ticket. So they queue for a ticket, and then they had to join another queue with the ticket to get grub, to get food, to get like a jar of pickles and some bread and stuff. It's like queuing for food, man, like that. But I don't think they were having to pay for it. I think it was rations out to them. But still, the queues were massive, and it wasn't even warm. It was horrible. And that was in the socialist days, picked up a bit. The only women working were the women, the only women in Poland when I was there with any money were the women on the game, which was like most of them when I was there. So there was that. It was an unbelievable experience, I must say. I was with one of the ships I was on was an ex-Polish ocean liner. And when I went to Poland the first time, one of the crew, who was like a relative, Mihash Stolik, my chief officer, there was a big family spread, and 12 of them turned up, and we were eating eel and stuff. They were all laughing at me because I picked it up and said, "This stuff's really chewy." They said it's supposed to just scrape it out of the skin, Matt. I was like, oh. Anyway, there was a World War II hero there from the war in. He served with the Polish out of Britain, and the guy was 7 foot tall. He was a 7 foot tall giant war hero, Pole, and I was in awe of him. I couldn't even believe him. I was like, his eyes, it was what got me, because I could just see in his eyes what he'd seen. I was like, God, I can't even imagine what you've seen in your life. Just unbelievable. And he was knocking 100. I think he was 96, something like that. He was in his 90s. Absolutely amazing. Stood upright, and he just walked in. 100-year-old nearly. I was like, wow. A lot to be said for their conditions. These look like Fachets, little turban on top. So, yeah. The Poles sorted it out now. They're probably one of the best countries in Europe to live in. Their prime minister, oh, he rocks. I absolutely love the Polish prime minister. He literally makes me giggle. He's like, oh, yeah, if anyone tries breaking into this country, we'd just fucking shoot them. It's like not having none of it. In the country, yeah, years ago, few years ago, or 10 years ago, all the Poles came over to Britain, and then the British people were like moaning, they're taking all our jobs, they're harder working than us, and they were. I'll give them a fair crack. The Polish boys, you know, they're hard working, and they always turn up. Where British people, they're always throwing sickies on a Monday because they've been on the piss all weekend and don't want to do anything when they fucking get there. These boys, conscientious, work right the way through the day for less money as well. But anyway, the Poles in Britain, they were everywhere, and which I liked. But they fucked off home when basically because Britain's on its ass at the moment and like fucked. So they all went back home to Poland because they got all this groovy stuff and lovely infrastructure and it's spotlessly clean. And they haven't got like all like, you know, it's not very stabby there, guys. Not like Britain. I don't think they got crackheads all over the place here, not like Britain. So there's that. And all of the weird protesters, that happens daily. There's that. I don't think they do that. So, yeah, horse and cart. These poor little horses pulling all these people. I dig it's on rails, but one person dragging a ton. Check out the basilica, though, guys. And these are obviously colorized. They're all from... if you blow in a Polish girl's ear... Yes, Joshua? What comes next? Jiggy, jiggy. Let's have a look. It's a bit Moorish, this, isn't it? It's a bit like, you know, onion dome-ish, but it's that flavour, like a bit Russian, isn't it? Don't know what kind of timepiece that is on the clock tower. Got a little bit of antiquity by here. Oh, that's curious. Looks like there's something actually on it. But not too many people around, guys, is there? You know, Times Square and stuff. But wow, look at that flood-proof building. One level, water comes up to you, step out your boat here. And another level up there as well. Because that's flood prevention built in. So yeah, only horses. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I got a theme for Black Beauty playing. Okay. So what the Poles doing here, guys? Let's have a look. Let's have a think. So that's a dry riverbed, is it, or something? This is a bridge here. What about these? Any wires coming off of them? Oh, excuse me, guys. No, not really. There's no wires on these. Oh, there may be. Yeah, there may be on this one. I can see something there and there. Okay, to be fair. Oh, all of them buildings up there on street level, and this is down below. Sheds. So I don't know what they're doing. I couldn't even hazard a guess. Maybe just collecting stone. Who even knows? They got it nice. They're really well turned out, these people as well. I doubt the boater was yellow, though. Them Panama hats were white, weren't they? Popular, really popular around the 1900 mark, the Panama hat. Don't know why. Don't like them myself. My rabbit likes them. Eating them. Yeah, Eastern flavour here, isn't it? Considering it's Europe, but it is Eastern Europe. So. Wow, that is beautiful. Complete with an onion dome. Look at that. It's been. I know this is an altered photograph. It's been colorized because they're from 1890 to 1900. But look, the golden dome has got some fuzzing around it. The copper dome. Maybe that's just bad colorization. Who even knows? Looks a bit classical, doesn't it? But the trees look quite new on this side. You find that a lot, don't you, with these photographs, the 1800s, that the trees are only quite recent. A bit older across the road, but not really that old. Blocked up windows. Must be that window tax going on there too. Yeah, whatever. There's the Vistula. Goes right through Europe, that big river into Russia. The bridge across the Vistula. Some men getting cockles. I'm thinking this is a lighthouse on top of here. Oh, perfect landing platform for a balloon now. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a door there, probably to, don't know, take stuff up with a little crane or hoist, maybe. So yeah, really massive architecture, isn't it? That's the police headquarters. Bet that's like a start. But the Opera House, Walsall. They got Russia there, like, well, it was part of Russia, wasn't it? They weren't happy about it though, the Poles, when I was there at all, with the Russians being there. I bet they couldn't wait for them to go. The size of that. Don't know if it's a fountain. But beautiful gardens. I don't know what this thing is. Really interesting, but I wonder what it does. Just loads of pillars and loads of arches from there to there. Why? To give you a walkway from there to there and there to there. Just a cloister. All that expense. Are you Polish? I knew that anyway. Dziękuję. So yeah. Awesome Poland. It was beautiful, beautiful people. And they had a terrible time in World War II because that fucking Max, who basically was given leadership of Poland by Adolf, gave him a fucking terrible time, the Polish. I don't know of any other country, except for probably Germany, that had it so bad as in World War II. Especially Warsaw. The city was almost eradicated. Look at this. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And the bridge across the Vistula. So that might have been on a dry riverbed, you know, guys. I'm thinking on that earlier picture. Beautiful classical music played by her. So 644 of you here. I'm glad to see you today. Thank you for being here. Make sure to share this out if you would. Be so kind, if you can, on Twitter or Facebook or YouTube or wherever. It doesn't matter. But look at it. So this looks exactly like when you see in Moscow or Leningrad. Giant onion domes and the resonators. It's fantastical stuff. Absolutely beautiful. They don't build anything good anymore, do they, guys? So I think that's a basilica there, though. So yeah, we're moving on to images of the week. Various stuff from antiquity and just memes and stuff that I've collected all week. The Pope didn't die. You ever seen the film The Pope Must Die? So that was a film with Robbie Coltrane. It was made back in the day. So they recorded that film in Dubrovnik because the city looked like Rome in architecture. And a year later, Dubrovnik was flattened in the Balkan War. Bombed to shit out of. So if you want to see what it looked like back in the day before it was disintegrated, check out that film. It is a good film, Nuns on the Run, anyway, with Eric Idle and Robbie Coltrane. And Robbie Coltrane I liked a lot. Not so much Eric Idle. I thought he was annoying. So what are we looking at here? Well, antiquity. But I noticed in some of these pictures of antiquity, okay, looks like you've got like a Mary and Joseph thing, but they got a baby, so it can't be. Just the people, and they're going, oh, who are these that have made this land and this strange stuff? And what you find is they've splattered every single thing with Phoenician and weird deities and weird idols on every square inch of antiquity. I think that happened in the past. I think the Phoenicians just went nuts and covered up the world with their icons. Really strange. So I've been looking into Alexander the Great and his tomb as well. I obviously couldn't post that this week, but they found his tomb of Alexander the Great, even though he was Macedonian, in Sidon, in Phoenicia. I think that he was more a Phoenician, Alexander the Great, than a Macedonian. He'd actually died in Phoenicia. So, you know, one of the greatest conquestors in human history, apparently. Napoleon was trying to do an Alexander the Great. Adolf Hitler was trying to do an Alexander the Great. Only both of them didn't do an Alexander the Great. They failed. Alexander, however, he did an Alexander the Great. Took over every bloody thing, apparently. Modern biking clothes, you had one job. I never really noticed that before. Yeah, I did. So this is a great exposition in America, and they have indigenous peoples dancing around, and you sit around and watch indigenous peoples dance around, because this is what they do in Africa. Only they don't, because in Africa they have buildings like this. So there's that. Pygmies. They had little pygmies. Mud flood. Mud flood. This is mud flood on the taking out of the mounds in St. Louis. It's like a wall across there, or a wicker basket, or some wicker or something. But yeah, they are removing a shit ton. They're removing the mounds. It was called Mound City for some reason, because it's full of mounds. And they removed them all. Here are some more indigenous peoples. Red Indians. Squaws, which is a derogative phrase, I've been told. How? When actually Indians were hanging out, smoking fags, wearing Levi red tag jeans, and having nothing to do with all this Indian business, because this here is Hollywood. Yeah, this is programming. This is how Indians are or were. Maybe in the 1700s they had bow and arrow. Heap good man. Why you ask? Two dogs fucking. So check this out for an exposition. Built temporary, all them. They must have spent absolute fortune on plants alone on the expositions, I feel. St. Louis. I know Chicago had one, but this is the St. Louis one. Take me to St. Louis. So yeah, Africa. Back to Africa. So it could have been that they done this. It's just I find it too wider area for technology, unless fasces can just be released on a scale that could take out the whole of North Africa in a direct energy attack, which would take out that entire civilization. Maybe they have got their technologies. Maybe they just deploy them secretly, like in World War II, like when they're taking out Hiroshima and pretending it's a nuclear bomb. So this is quite a good action figure. Harry Houdini. He was another con man, you know. It's all about sleight of hand. Watch over here while I'm doing this over here. It's what the government do as well. So yeah, this was a fucking funny old caper, wasn't it? You know, with the. So I was on Rise Above last night. I had 2 hangouts last night. The first one was with John Levon, JLB. If you don't know him, I've known him for 10 years on YouTube. He's been around for longer than that, and he's a YouTube veteran. So we talked about the years of YouTube. We've caught up every 5 years since. So I really enjoyed that. Then I went over to Rise Above, and they showed film of Pope Francis actually with an extra pair of hands and also disappearing like he's a hologram. Is he even there? Does he even exist? And why don't the Catholic Church or the good people of this realm or of his believers, the Roman Catholics, question any of this weirdness in the fucking background here? So, what's the matter with your altar? It's like, it looks like a nightmare. It looks like the devil's just sprung out of hell. It's like, no, it's very loving. It's not very loving, is it, this? It's not, is it? It's not floofy, is it? This is floofy. Okay. I knew there was something about Daphne. Scooby-Doo. I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what's going on there, guys. I don't even know what that image is even doing in my... I love Scooby-Doo, though. So back to weirdness. So adrenochrome. I talked about this last night on the Rise Above show, and here he is on Love in Las Vegas. He says you don't want to know where it came from, and apparently he liked it a lot. He had more than one droppage, yeah, many droppages, and adrenochrome, which is part of this weird narrative, which I'll show you more of in a minute. So the year of Soylent Green, the movie with Charlton Heston, was 2022. And if you've watched the film, which is a classic, Soylent Green is actually the food everyone is on, and it's made of humans. So nothing new under the sun there. So this is happening, an online convention. It's a bit early to show you. I haven't got tickets ready for it yet. But I think it's being hosted by Richard Robes and myself, Campbell, as you can see there. Martin Mattons is my Facebook name. They need to fucking sort that out. I have to get on there and tell them because no one will know the fuck I am. Bridget Napier, Guy Anderson, and we're all doing a Tatarian online, not a venue, unfortunately, online thing, which I'm involved in. So this is Cardiff Castle where I live, right, guys? And by the side of Cardiff Castle used to be a moat. And it's not there anymore. This is grass and fields by here. This is on Kingsway. But back in the day, not that I can remember, you could have had a dip. And this bridge, this beautiful old bridge here, is not there anymore. But this bit of stone and that still remains. I know where that is. I've seen this bit, but this bit's gone. Why would they take that? And why would they get rid of the moat? And look how clean the water is. And look at all them old stones there, big old stones, Cardiff Castle. So, yeah, shame we can't do that anymore. So, Pope Francis action figure. So, you need a coffin, some Haribos, some choir boys, and a church. And you got this big cheesy grin. I got blessed by a Pope once. No, I did. Pope John Boy. I shouted to him, skinhead! And he looked over at me and he went, Dominate the Padre. I was like, to my mate, I was with my mate Nobby, and we went like that. But yeah, we didn't spud back in them days, but if we had, we would have. So yeah, got blessed by the Pope. So yeah, seismic zone of New Madrid I've talked about for many, many, many years. It's been livening up recently, isn't it? Memphis is there, you know, like Memphis, Egypt, because many people think that the narrative, which has been talked about in many books, including American Antiquities by Josiah Priest, talk about ancient Egypt actually taking place in old America and not actually on the other side. That was a copy, apparently, of this, which is happening over here. Yeah. Why build one when you can build two? So, yeah, New Madrid. I keep an eye on that for you all, guys. I'll let you know if anything comes up with that. So, yeah. So, in Alexander the Great's tomb in Sidon, in Lebanon, which it was Phoenicia, they discovered his tomb and they discovered this, which is for making blancmange. It's a blancmange casing. No, it's a helmet of Alexander the Great. Apparently, he wears a line on his head and looks dead Phoenician, doesn't it? And he dies in Phoenicia as well. Here you can see Alexander the Great. Apparently, he was only a boy when he died, or maybe it was the magic 27 number. There's a lot of obscure... Well, they say a lot about his sexuality, but, you know, as far as his years go, we don't know where he was putting it, do we? But Hollywood will tell you some things about it in the film with the Orlando Bloom, I think he's in that. So there's the necropolis of Sidon, where Alexander the Great. It's vast. It's a huge complex, which I'm going to need to dig in. I've got photographs of this complex, but it just looks like loads of rubble. I couldn't show you. I thought about showing them, but we wouldn't have learned nothing by it. I'm going to go into that some more. So this is in Cardiff as well. Beautiful street, Park Place. These are massive mud flooders. And on this side here is a theatre now called the New Theatre, built in 1900. And I thought it was an old Tatarian building, but it's not. It's not, because this site had a field and trees there in the past. So it was built in 1900, which, if they say built in 1900, you can safely say that these things have been, guys. Is what I find. So there's an old saying: if a hot girl texts you about crypto, block him. I tell you what, we're in so much trouble with climate change. I've been losing sleep about it. How dare you? literally, you need to stop farting and burning more fossil fuels, because I tell you what, we're going to be underwater. Here's the evidence. Here is an English village in 1900, and you can see the river level is by there. And here is the same village in the year 2024, 120 fucking 4 years later, and the water level has raised possibly 1/4 of a millimeter. I don't think we're in any trouble immediately, do you? Whatever. I don't like urban art, but I like it if they do things like that with inventiveness, with beautiful color. And I've noticed, I don't know whether you guys have noticed, it might be just me, it might be just my age or my new awakening, but nature looks absolutely fantastic just lately. I'm literally in awe of it. It's just beautiful. Oh, have you seen the big Mike doll? Yeah, man, complete with butt plugs, liquid Bud Light, and I'm guessing these are various butt plugs. I swear, I don't know what they are. So yeah, I think that's a good look. I'd vote for it. So in the old days, before premieres in Britain, yeah, where you go into a shop in Britain and you just basically, it's 50-50 whether they're just going to skank your money off you. It's okay, you get your money back when you pull them, and they apologize like that. But you get money back, but you got to be shit hot on the ball in a British shop, because they're definitely going to try and fucking mug you. Guaranteed. Okay? But in the old days, we had British shops. That's right. We sold things called banjos, drifters. I think the Twix and the Kit Kats still exist, and the Yorkie. You could buy a packet of fags off the lovely old British lady. You go, hello, love. How are you doing? I'll have a packet of silk cut, please. Are you old enough? No, I'm 5. Oh, that's all right. I'm sure your mother's nice enough. I know your mother anyway. Yeah, that world's fucking gone. Fucking premiers. We've been ripped off. Bring back British shops, please. Bring back the butchers. Bring back British butchers. Fucking hell. It's awkward as well. Half the time, I don't even... I'm not being horrible here, guys, but I don't know what they're saying. So there's that. Insects. So do you think insectoid beings exist or existed? It's possible, isn't it? Because the Hopi Indian, they dress like bugs, don't they? Yes, some more. Hopis and other indigenous peoples, yeah, they could be just taking a fuck ton of hallucinogenics. But in this case, they look like insects, because they are insects. Valley Commando. Oggy, oggy, oggy. Oi, oi, oi. If you don't know what Valley Commando is, I got one living downstairs. My mate, who's Tony, who's a member of the Valley Commando, which is a biker gang. Okay, a gang of bikers. And you can only join the Valley Commando if you're Welsh. And they're a big biker gang in Wales, in the valleys. And this guy, he's one of them. They're all 7 foot tall. So, do you know in the film Clockwork Orange, yeah, you know Moloko, not the band, although she's fantastic, but the milk drink that they drink, and then they go off on a rainbow and all of the rest that they do, kicking tramps in and stuff in the film Clockwork Orange. They are drinking adrenochrome. They're on the chrome. So the chrome's in Clockwork Orange as well. Let's check out Brussels in Belgium. In 1695. That looks like a juicy metropolis. In fact, it looks fantastical. It's surrounded by a big elaborate staff. Oh, this is an oil painting, by the way, as you can see the cracks in it. All of that in 1695. It just looks like Manhattan. It's just craziness. Here's another picture of Brussels in 1815, but obviously not a photograph. There's the old ladderly, because photographs didn't exist, they say, in 1815. But it'd be bloody good if they did. I'd love to see older photographs of this world, but we don't know what we're looking at and what time span. It's only what they tell us. Oh, have you seen this? Yeah, the Shawshank Redemption. I had a manager once in B&Q. Let's go back to that. And he said to me, I said, what's your favourite film? He said, Shawshank Redemption. I said, that's your favourite film? What about a guy in jail getting bummed? Is that your favourite film? It's a bit weird. It may as well be your favourite film, Scum or something. It's really weird. So I couldn't get my head around it. I watched it once. I was traumatised for a couple of months after. I don't want to ever see a film like that ever again in my life. Thanks. Fuck! How could people watch that? Why did they even make it? I just traumatised everybody. Nobody wants to break the law after watching that, I've noticed. So the Spice Boys, I mean the girls. Mel B looks like she's, I know she's got a pair of jugs, but men can take stuff to give them jugs. So it's like I'm packing a lot more. What happened to Baby Spice? Emma Bunton was the best looker, I thought, out of the Spice Girls. And at the moment, well, she's looking like an ugly boy, isn't she? And what about Ginger Spice, Jerry Halliwell, the one who wore that famous Union Jack mini skirt? Yeah, she looks a bit boyish, but let's dig this. Yeah, Victoria Beckham. Yeah, Victoria Beckham. She turned 52 this week, I think they said it was. Why does she look like a boy? She don't look like a girl. I'm sorry, I'm not being horrible or anything or transphobic, but she looks like a boy. And Sporty Spice, who's renowned for being a dude, a doody dude. She wears tracksuits, looks like a dude. She does doody stuff. She's got big fuck off muscles. I think the Spice Girls, yeah. You know what I really want? You know what I really, really want? I want a zigga zigga. I don't even know what that is. I think it's sexual, though. I think it is. So, yeah. Fucking hell, it's exhausting, this tennis, isn't it? Yeah, let's have a break and have a fag. Yeah, and me. I remember cross country when I was in school. So I was brilliant at it. You have to run around 5 miles and have a spliff halfway round to make sure you didn't feel anything when you go back. So, yeah. And Brit, single mum. Now, this is not for every single mum. I know some of you have got your shit together and actually feed your children and don't spend all the money on scratch cards and vodka on a Friday night. But vape, phones, you talk shit all day. Romance novel, I don't think they're a thing in the modern day. Mills and Boom, I don't know. Maybe 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, the Starbucks coffee. It's not about you, it's about the child, my lawyer said. So drama, 98, gaslighting, 91, weaponized empathy, 87, accountability, 2, boundary respects, 0. So, yeah. My mother was a single parent. She struggled. So, you know, it ain't easy. Although we did have the best house in the street. So, skinny dicks halfway in. Do you think they knew what they were doing there? Why halfway in? Is it like a Subway's footlong? Have you ever had a footlong? So this is Nejmegin. I can't say Majegin. I can't. Any Dutch people, could you pronounce this for me, please? Otto, Pamela, India Summer. What's the matter with you? Kathy. God, you're easily influenced. You are, aren't you? Sure, but I am an influencer or an influencer. I'm King Elf influencer. Najit it's got a beautiful railway station. They've got a nice bridge as well, but it's a bridge too far. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? I bet it looks like shit in a modern day. In fact, I know it does. So this is Rotterdam. I love Rotterdam. When I goes to Holland, which I used to do a pilgrimage years ago, I don't bother too much nowadays, but I used to do a yearly pilgrimage or two to Rotterdam every year to partake upon their beautiful stuff. And you basically, it was safer than Amsterdam because you got loads of Moroccans following you around, team bag sheets and fucking wanting you to buy stuff. And it's well, not to put a final point on it, it's a really dangerous city. But so's Rotterdam. I could prove this was true, this story, what I'm telling you now, because my close friend who lives downstairs, he's not there here at the moment, but he can verify this is true. I was ashore. I was on a ship in Rotterdam, and I was ashore, and we went into the ganja cafe called the Sensi Smile. Okay, it's in the Cool Quarter in Rotterdam. Okay, and we're in the window. There's a big bay window, and it comes out into the pavement. People are just walking past. It's the best fucking seat in the world. Okay, guys, got the best coffee, and I got big bags of yummy. Yeah, I'm in elements. Yeah, because at home you get in big trouble. So I'm in like my elements. And then there's all police, and there's a big like gangster limousine outside the window, and then there's bangs. And then there's a guy, and he's running down the road, and he's shooting a gun. And me and Tony and my cousin Danny are sat in the window, and there's a bullet just whizzes past the window, like that. You could hear it, pew, like that. And it's just like, there's literally, we're sat stoned in a coffee shop window watching a gun battle outside. Literally, 4 fucking people got killed that day in Rotterdam. It was in the newspapers and every fucking thing. Unbelievable. We couldn't even be bothered. We didn't even duck. Mind you, it all seemed very cartoon-like, you know, especially with the gangsters, because it's like New York gangsters in Rotterdam, you know, with exactly the same as they look like they're New York. In fact, Rotterdam looks a bit like New York. Well, it would. New Amsterdam is based on the same architecture. So this is an interesting site, yeah. Ancient Temple of the Druids in France. Now, the France in Sumer. Now, the French Druids, they're, you know, they're the Welsh Druids. The Druids are the Welsh. So this is a megalithic burial chamber, but it is vast. It is big. They say it's a burial chamber. I wonder why they built it and what it was for. Any of this Neolithic stuff makes no sense to me. Stupid. This is interesting. So a shit ton of British kings have been coronated in this chair, the coronation chair. It's in Westminster Abbey, Cathedral Abbey. And it's been used since Edward II, and I can't remember the exact number, but like 50 odd kings or something, or a shit ton of kings. You gotta go on this throne to be king to Britain, okay? But they put a stone underneath it. It's called the Stone of Scone. Okay, it's not there in this picture. But what is the significance of the Stone of Scone, and why can't a king or a queen be a king or a queen unless they're sat upon it? I wonder if it's a lodestone. This is the famous barbed dickfish. You can pick these up if you went like skinny dipping in the Amazon, for example. I don't want to go into details. I think the name actually sums it up. Not very nice taking them out. Barbed dickfish. Terrible. This was found in Eastern Europe, and it's a mystery to science as well. I think it's Poland. A crypt, and as you can see, it is transparent stone made like material, and quite fine detail as well. Many mysteries, many mysteries. Also, this is a model of hydraulics. Apparently, horses were on a turntable, and they were using these pumps and pumping water out of the said ground. So, some horsepower hydraulic pumping station in a model. Groovy. So these are the Anu, an ethnic group of northern Japan. Now, I've talked about them before, the ethnic northern Japanese people, which look decidedly European, maybe even Indian. But one thing they don't really look is like Japanese. Not really. Especially him. He looks Western. She looks a little bit Japanese, but she could, you know, they could pass for people from the Mediterranean. What about this guy on the end? Looks a bit Indian. It could be British. Oh, look, this guy here looks zero Japanese. No, neither does he. So they seems to be like, they do say that the original occupants of Japan and China actually were Caucasian anyway. So there's that. So the Turkish are not strictly Muslim. I found that out anyway when I was in Istanbul. They were eating on Ramadan. I was like, you're not very strict, are you? The Greeks, the Turks have an Orthodox. You can see here, an Orthodox church called whatever that is, Gaguz. So I can't imagine it being very popular, especially with the growth of that religion. Okay, that is the dock gates in Barry Docks in South Wales. Sure, it was or is the second deepest rise and fall of tide in the world. I think Montevideo is the biggest rise and fall, but here in Barry in South Wales, the biggest rise and fall you can have in any dock, second highest rise and fall, any dock in the world. And that's why it requires such a large dock gate. They're doing some work on it in the past. And aquifers. Now, I've seen there's an aquifer under Mongolia, but I find it fascinating that Kirster in his books mapping this giant aquifer here, which kind of looks artificial to me, under the Amazon River, or under the Amazon, under the jungle, so to speak. Giant aquifer. So that's probably there. Feeds the lungs of the world. They knew a lot more about aquatics in the past than we know, I'm guessing. So they had these hills, and the hills have water courses or aquifers, and then it's pumped out, and then you get these strange basically these whirlpools. I was thinking of the word then. What would be the purpose of that? It's not exactly collecting fresh water. This might be a freshwater lake. Okay, and this is what Kirster thought looking down on Earth from above the North Pole would look like, the pole, Antarcticus. So I'm guessing this bit here is Tartaria. The whole thing is Tartaria. So all of Asia is Tartaria. Spitsbergen, which would be a lot smaller than that. Greenland and America. So America Borealis. So you have America, who's right next door to Tartaria. Tartaria and America in Kirster's books of the 1700s. Confederate Coffee Company. Cheerleaders are weird, isn't they? I don't know. We didn't. I went out with a cheerleader once years ago. Long story, but she was a cheerleader for the Cardiff Mets American football team. Didn't really catch on. I mean American football, because we got rugby and they don't cover up in rugby, and there's loads of blood and guts and stuff. It's great. So who invented cheerleading? Pom-poms. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of the greatest things America has. Apple pie and pom-pom girls that come out like all flouncy in the beginning, and they like fucking pom-poms and stuff. Not that anyone's noticing the pom-poms. Floofy. So Hieronymus Bosch must have been on some sort of drugs or something, because my God, his version of events is woeful. Hey King, you're getting ripped off. Look at all that gold and silver there. Yeah, it's really strange, this realm, you know, this energy of money, and you know that people would just do anything for it. They'll sell their actual soul for it. For energy, because that's all it is. Just bits of paper, isn't it? It's just anyway. So look at this. Do you know, if you meet somebody, never say KKK like that, you know, because it might be wrongly construed. Ku Klux Klan are quite popular, I hear, in the modern day. The Knights Templar, exactly the same cross thing, and the Grand Imperial Conclave Red Cross of Constantine has the and also the Jesuit symbol in the center, but the same cross here for the Rosicrucianist movement. I've noticed this cross as well in this shape on some YouTube video avatars. Curious. I'm having this, okay? Yeah, okay. Hold my hand. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, okay. So he's nicking his pipe organ, this skeleton. And he's holding hands with a vicar who has a butter making machine, I suspect. So this is interesting. This was found recently in 2023 in a field near Cardiff, here in Wales, near to Cardiff Airport, Penmark. And they are excavating an ancient medieval cemetery. And excuse me, but it makes no sense, and it rose a lot of questions. So it's a woman in here, obviously they say Welsh, we don't know. She was a Welsh labourer, but she was found with expensive glass from the Mediterranean. She had import Mediterranean glass, expensive, found with her. But there was another girl who was thrown in a ditch and wasn't buried at all. The questions that, and this archaeological dig is ongoing by the Cadw in the present day, right now, daily. They want to know who these are, because they don't seem to be Welsh, they may be from another place. Why so few children? So apparently this community had like hardly any children. So pit stopping, maybe. And why did they treat some people so differently? Like I said, one was just thrown into a ditch and wasn't buried at all. They don't even know the age on this. It's that ancient. Look at these stones that have all been put elaborately around it. Ah, the mysteries of Wales. There are so many. Look at the size of the cranium too. Or is that a rock behind the cranium? Difficult to say. It looks huge anyway. So interesting. So Glastonbury, place I love. I love to go in this place here and have a munch. But it hasn't changed a day. So there is an 1826 and a pencil depiction, or charcoal, or whatever it is, engraving, excuse me. And apparently King Arthur stayed in here and watched the abbey burn from across the road. And there's a bedroom in here, which apparently Henry VIII stayed in. But there are some differences I've noticed. There's another window here, which doesn't seem to be there. This window here on the top one is blocked up, and here it is opened up. So there's that window blocked up here and here. So they've opened them up there and there. Interesting. Maybe he just didn't bother drawing them in because he was a bit lazy of an artist. And this thing here was a bigger stone one, which is not really there anymore. But the pillar that held it surely is. So yeah, super ancient building that is, hundreds of years, and it's haunted. You can do a ghost tour there, and they'll take you to like places where there's spooky ghost action. There's tunnels under there as well. It's all very interesting. Love the old buildings of Glastonbury. So yeah, tough gong. So here's Bob Marley doing a gig. Love Bob Marley, who doesn't? With some white folk in a swimming pool, and only a few of them. I wonder how much they paid him to do that swimming pool gig. Yeah, I'd be tempted to push one of the amplifiers into the swimming pool to see what happened. I don't. But yeah, it's really weird. I noticed I was looking the other day. There was a T-Rex concert, and it was recorded. It's on YouTube. It's fantastic, actually. In Wembley pool hall, like a swimming pool. So I don't know how they did it. Did they just put boards over the pool and everyone stood on there in the concert? Makes no freaking sense. Unless they all just got in the bottom of an empty pool. I don't know. And maybe I'm just overthinking it. Yeah, have you seen the Sumerian handbags? Yeah, they do Gucci, L'Oreal, and all these different versions now in the modern day. They're just lumps of rock. But they're very popular with the elites. You can see here one. In the old days, the Egyptians. She's got a wicker basket, actually. I'm guessing with all of them river reeds around, it's easy to just knock up baskets, isn't it? So there's 1,000 things. I know you're going to blow up my comments saying all of this was poured, this stone. Yeah. Oh. Or that it's Paly, whatchamacallit. But the fact still remains, it looks like modern engineering, and they say that it's ancient world. And this is the predicament, isn't it? Similar sketching to what we've seen in Egypt. Maybe it's just none of this is actually ancient, and they did have machines. So look, these Egyptians here buried in the mud, 1905. Here they are in 2024, but they were, like everything, dug out of the mud. This is supposed to be 5,000-year-old Japanese find. What are they showing us? Well, they're not humanoid, are they? With these eyes and these ears. And this isn't a humanoid either, is it? So they're showing us non-humanoid beings. I don't think anything's going to be made in China soon, perfectly imperfect. And these things, this is in Peru. You know, this is... Nobody knows what these things are. Some of it looks melted. Saxioan as well is a good example. I've got some pictures of that coming up, I think. What was this world? Who were these people? These are nothing to do with like Egyptians or anything like that. These are someone else completely. See these antiquity at Pumapunku. Whoever made them H blocks in Pumapunku made that same stuff there. So here's Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison famously stated, "This is the strangest life I've ever known." Apparently, his contemporary said that he was really annoying and weird. It's like, "Oh, hello. Oh, you're beautiful. I'm going to write you a poem." It's like, yeah, don't worry too much about that, Jim. I'm just off for a coffee. Bye, weirdo. Here he is in Mexico, deeply thinking about what is all this shit. Dendrochronology is an interesting subject. Do you think there's any truth in it? I think there is. This is a 500-year-old tree. It was planted in 1597. And you can see which were the big summers, which were the little summers. See 1742 showing up there. There was something going on there. And 1793, here's something going on. I'm thinking that 1850 would be in here somewhere, but there doesn't seem to be a depression. 1845, 1871, 1911, and then this bit here in 100 years, or 90 years, just that bit. 1991, that tree was felled. And the stones of Baalbek. See some people here, just put them into perspective of how big they are. And they're megalithic stones. How did they lift them up and put them there? All of them, Lego blocks, weighing tons each. And these pillars weighing 80 tons each or something. Just incredible, isn't it? And this is in Indonesia. And they are similar to the moai of the Easter Island, I feel. Stranger faces. He's got a little pee-pee too. Nice little touch. I like that. And yeah, so I don't know. They don't know who they are. They're just another mystery of some peoples. Stop in the name of love. I got a hand coming out my mouth. Think it all over. I don't know what that is. It's just too strange. Here is the Hyperborean, the circled city of Eden. It is in the northern quarter of this realm. To seek it, you have to align yourself and be spiritually pure, and you will get there. So they blew this up. Well, there was supposed to be a terrorist attack, but they left it at that. I'm surprised they didn't blame a small poor country and blow the fucking shit out of it. But they never, because they knew, because it was them. And then they demolished it. It's all on YouTube a little while later, because they don't need to announce and scare everyone saying they're going to depopulate you to 500 million, don't you know? Because it's already happened. So they don't need it anymore. The beaches of Wales have got some incredible things, little World War II type bunkers, but these, all over the coast of South Wales, down in Penarth, near where I live, and Barry, are these bricks that look like they are melted. But I'm guessing the sea would have rounded them as well and shaped them. Hellenistic, Roman, they say, or excuse me, Egyptian, again, plate. Gold, amber, worth a fortune, and what looks like a glass bit in the middle with all wires in there. It's not just a plate then, is it? It's some sort of like organite technology, is it? Like an organite pyramid in a plate, is it? With jewels and stuff. Pretty high tech, nice shit, isn't it? I bet it's a modern day replica. This is in France. They love a bit of the old wine, the old vino. But they're more into beer in Britain than wine. Wine's a very French thing, or very European thing. But they This is ancient. I got all pictures of this, and I think it's the giants. It's the giants one. If Galileo had invented the telescope in 1609, then how Hindus worshipping the Navragas before his invention? Well, it is interesting that he's got the moon, the sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu have been included. Rahu and Ketu included. Isn't that interesting? The fabled other planets, or as we call them in the flat earth realm, wandering stars. Talking about wandering stars, this is a well-known caption from the Simpsons episode where the sky, which is made of glass, cracks and the sea pours in to a stadium. Truth in plain sight. Now, these, I want to talk about these. Right? See these little things here? Every single one of them is a different design. They are absolutely beautiful, very, very trippy, make absolutely gorgeous jewelry. Can anybody in the chat let me know what these are? Anybody in the chat know what they are? Roam if you want to, roam around the world. Anybody? Come on, come on. Guess what they are? Insect eggs. Okay, you're so clever. These are, okay, stick insect eggs. They are called Levon Biss. Levon, L-E-V-O-N, Levon Biss, B-I-S-S. And apparently, stick insects lay their larvae, okay, these things, and no two are the same. They're as individual as fingerprints. Every single stick insect makes a different design. And what a lovely name as well, Levon Biss. But stick insects, guys, these are. And no two are the same. Isn't that amazing? Blew my head off when I saw that. I thought, wow, it looks like just crazy good jewelry, but this is nature. Stick insect eggs. Yeah, they are really cute, Isabel. Thank you. So, yeah, inventions of the past. Now, they're big scooters in the modern day, but they used to have little two-cylinder petrol engines. They used to chug you around the streets. They don't show you these in the old movies, but the evidence in the old photographs is a lot of people scooting around on roller skates in the past. Yeah, lady in the 1920s. Nice little skateroonies. Skates, I'm not really good at myself. Oh, Wiener Dog even got skates. These are nice skates. I bet they were comfortable. Nice pair of shoes as well to go with them. It's like little bicycles. You can go bombing down the road, do wheelies and everything. Look at these guys. Lovely bit of boots, bit of security, shins all safe. And you can just bomb along. Brilliant. I love it. Look at this guy. He's got a little two-cylinder engine on his boots. He can just chug down the road, guys. Why haven't got this? Well, they have got it now, haven't they? Look at him go. Mr. Edwards, and I've got it all going on. It's like literally like an E-type Jagovitz day. This is interesting. This is a Welsh coin, which has very little to do with the royal family or the English at all. But it has got a Phoenician laurel leaf around and a harp. From 1793, a halfpenny piece. I've got a couple of halfpennies. North Wales. And look what's on the back. Rather than the Queen of England, a druid. But the druid still got the laurel leaf of control around him, like the UN, showing that the makers of this coin are in control. And the druids were supposed to be all executed by the Romans anyway. Supposed to be none left at all. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on in this depiction, okay? But this lady has a pipe, and the pipe is going into this man's mouth. So I think it might be something to do with drugs. I'm not actually sure. Excuse me. So a nice bit of communist architecture. It's not very nice though, is it? It's a bit solidy. Never really dug it myself. This is a bridge in Berlin. I don't know if this one's there anymore, but I noticed this. All right, it's to strengthen the bridge, I guess. Yeah, but it doesn't really need to be so ornamented. There's a lamp on there. I think they used to transfer charges across these bridges in the past. This is also at Berlin. I'm guessing a lot of this got splattered. World War II. We got a bunko booth, and this little thing with antiquity, a kiosk. So we got nearly 700 people watching. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm really happy you're all here today. Hope you've enjoyed the content of recently. It's been a lot putting out, and I've been doing a lot of interviews, a lot of stuff to look forward to in the coming weeks as well. Thanks, Otto. Thanks, Shady Brady. Thanks, Hippie Shake. Okay, we're moving on. I'll come back and we'll all have a little hangout in the chat-a-rooney shortly. Okay. Yeah, Berlin, all of this stuff got splattered, didn't it, in the old war age. So have you heard the news? Breaking news. Katy Perry declares herself Pope after reading the Bible for 11 minutes. Yeah. And Madonna. Madonna's going to go to, she's going to go to space. She's going to go to the moon. They're going to name her Moon Donna. Yeah. No, it's true story. Truth seeker, Manny. It's true story. She went to space, the final frontier. So she wants to do a concert on the moon, though. She's like really nutty. So she thinks it's an actual thing. That like this is actually possible. Because she's done like possibly, which I don't think, people think that she did, do some sort of parabola vomit comet affair. I don't think any of it happened. I think it's all just bits spliced together, a little bit of a Hollywood movie thing going on. What's going on with the crazy eyes? Is this what MK Ultra eventually does to you? She looks a bit deformed as well. I thought she was supposed to be pretty. What happened to Katie? Yeah? I want to hear a roar. Anyway. So, they're doing this to get a new pope. Did you hear? Your chances are pretty high, guys. You can be a pope if you want to. I don't fancy being a pope myself. I give it some thought, actually. I don't think I got the criteria. Yeah, I'm heterosexual for one, so that probably wouldn't work. Okay, that's been my images of the day. I got lots more to show you. I'm going to show you some images of Moscow here. They're beautiful photographs, so guys, I must admit. They are colorized. But they are the late 1800s, no motor cars, big, broad streets, and what looks like the tops of buildings, I think. Quite beautiful, aren't they? I think it's all the technology of the old world, all of this. So I'm just going to go through a few more of these beautiful images. Look at this, golden domes, resonators, all the wires. Look at the size of these railings as well. Yeah, some of these buildings are just monumentally big, aren't they? And this cathedral here, it's got the Tsar bell there, which fell from this clock tower apparently in an earthquake, because Moscow apparently has earthquakes. And here's the bell that they got in the modern day. But the Tsar bell fell out of this, apparently, in an earthquake in the 1700s, because earthquakes happen all the time in Moscow. Not. They keep saying that, don't they? Mind you, there was an earthquake, a light one in the Czech Republic yesterday, I heard or read. Nice little pyramid roof going on there, and some sort of device thing with a bird on it. Beautiful, that building, isn't it? Castellations. And these things here we see all over, don't we? Not too many people, but I tell you what, they've got a fine city going on, haven't they? Look at that for antiquity, guys. You know, just the wind blowing through them, they're just resonating, and then taking that energy, transferring it into the onion domes, and then so forth into this complex of energy making, which is what they were in the past. These were complexes of energy. The bells are a part of it as well. Yeah, the resonance of the bells. The organs inside, you know, all part of the tech. You can see the Tsar cannon here. which is a humongous cannon. See that there compared to the people. So imagine how you must have got a big crane to put the cannonballs in, unless it's just ceremonial. It was never used. But that's near the Tsar Bell, which is just by there, as you can see, in Moscow, near the Kremlin, which is the Kremlin here. This is the Kremlin Tower and the interior of the Kremlin. Look how beautiful that is. They got no water in this fountain. One horse and party and 2 people. Well, there's more in the background, but look at that. God, it'd be lovely to see that out the window instead of them shitty bleeding tower blocks that they got up everywhere these days. Not that I'm complaining. It's not about me anyway, so there's that. But yeah, brutalization of architecture. You know, the good architecture is fulfilling to the soul. It makes you feel good. You feel enriched. This is a holy shrine where people will go and touch something holy and come out there and they'll think this. They'll think, right, so I'll probably be able to survive this week and have some money, and I've just touched this relic, so I'm definitely going to have some good fortune. And because of the way reality is, and you're doing it, that will happen. But they will attribute it to touching the holy relic, when obviously the holy relic is not Robert the fucking doll with superpowers and his sidekick. Stupid, but you know, people believe. So but it is us doing it. It is always us doing it. Golden domes, shiny domes. So there's the Tsar Bell. Yeah, so I fell out of the tower. Music on, yeah. So thanks for being here. 700 people, 2 hours. I'm going to be coming back into chat shortly. Bohemia was the center of control for most of Europe for 500 years. Chip, I would agree with that. I've looked into the story for Bohemian Rhapsody, and I stayed there. I stayed there 3 years ago in Budovica, Keski Budovica, which is Budweiser. So yeah, I don't know. They founded this thing or made it, produced it. This segment itself weighs multiple tons. I guess people go in there and play and climb. There seems to be a gate there to go under it anyway. So maybe you could just be under there and tap it and have some vibrational quality. But yeah, strange why, excuse me, it's like, why have they got all these rocks and rubble just left there? And what are they looking at in there, I wonder? Mysterious. Feels mysterious, so it is mysterious. So yeah, there's a massive wall around the Kremlin, all of these golden domes in the Kremlin. So yeah, they got good shit. Don't know how long that's gonna last though, the way things are. Let's have a look. Ooh, nice. Loads of little things on there. And a little bit of wrought iron to catch the energies, the subtle energies that are passing through. All the while. Still only they got that bloody big arches, and it looks like it's mud there. Ah, that's beautiful, that is. Love this song. Bud is wiser. Funny Morgan. R.I.P. Joe Rogan. Did he die again? Oh, fucking hell. There goes my chance to go on Joe Rogan. What the fuck ever. So yeah, Moscow got it going on. Ah. I don't know why I don't listen to. I actually don't listen to. I should just give up listening to music and only listen to classical music. For it make me feel enriched. It's like when you eat your vegetables, they're good for you. That's what this classical music's like. Don't get the same buzz up with punk rock. Although I do enjoy any genre, really. Classical music does something else to me. Makes you want to cry. Or laugh. Okay, I'm coming back, guys, because time is getting on. So what's going on? I've been talking for 2.5 hours. Oh, I nearly did a show. Fucking awesome. Absolutely stonking. I got loads more to show you guys. I got a list of things that I haven't actually shown you there because I haven't got time really. But I will come back this week. Wow, the light's really weird. Let me sort that out. I don't like it. Yeah, that's much better. I got this white light over there. It's just blinding my shit out, guys. I really don't like it. Oh, fuck no. So, okay. Yeah, my TV's on fire. Like when I blew that tent up in Glastonbury accidentally with the gas cooker. And then I came in to the tent that was on fire with a big bucket of water. And I chucked it over these 2 reel-to-reel, it looked really expensive, tape recorders that were playing reggae. And it went, and stopped. So I blew up their tent, made about 12 people homeless, filled it full of water, and I ruined their dub sound machine. I don't know. Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, epic Glastonbury moment. There was a girl there, sat there, Helen, with her hair on fire, and a few people got scorched and burned. I was straight out the door when I realised that holding a gas cylinder with a candle in front of me with a hole with all this vapour coming out would end up in a fireball. So I jumped out of the tent, luckily. Everyone else never. So there's that. So I'm sorry I blew everyone up in Glastonbury. No one died, though, so it was all good. Chris? And homelessness in Glastonbury Festival does make no difference. Thanks, Herbie. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Vibes, as well. Lovely. There you are. Omniga, good to see you again. Thank you. Whoever told me to replant my plants, I did it. Yeah, it was pitiful. It needed replanting. So I put in a new pot, and all my my tropicals down here as well, I repotted, and they're loving it. They're just growing lovely. And I put in all my other plants in better windows for better light and that, because some of them weren't feeling too good, I don't think. But they're looking fucking fab now. Happy go lucky, my plants are. Oh, thank you, Natalia, Alex, Ian Biggs. You're awesome too. We're all awesome people. Oh, yeah. We're fantastic people. After the Flat of British Flaterday night, we just all epic, and we were all like, you know, we should just like have an AFF, just take kickback after a Flat of British vlog, soak in that experience. Try to remember what you've seen. There's a lot, so you won't. Maybe bits. So what is that? Yeah, I got a convention coming up at the end of the year. I got a couple actually at the end of the year. Rise Above is going to be August bank holiday. Plenty going on there. And as I said, I'm looking to find out dates of certain things happening before I can actually organise a meetup, which I am going to do. Probably be. I was thinking along the lines of summer solstice, but we'll have to see. Summer solstice bash. But it's in the pipeline, and I'm thinking about it. So there's that. Indian summer, Chip, good to see you. Kay, I can barely keep an olive alive. Yeah, I've got green thumbs, Kay. I've been Dr. Green Thumb all my life, and things just like to grow around me and stuff. I don't know why. Those do well. Brownwell, thank you. I did intend for you to enjoy the show. This is why I made the effort. Non-sheep. Because if you didn't, I would be very unhappy and probably cry. Ooh, yeah, I know. D. Hanson, good to see you, my son. Otto, my brother, from another mother, over in Texas land. Oh, such a precious soul. What would we do without him? Martin, buy a little bottle of baby bio. No, I wouldn't poison my plants with baby bio. Hippie shake. Thanks for the offer, though. No Miracle Grow, no baby bio. I actually like my plants. I don't want to fuck them up. They don't actually need feed. That's a psyop to make money anyway. If you're going to feed your plants, just use a little bit of fucking potash on there. That's really good for them. Or a little bit of fish bone and blood. I wouldn't go down the buying chemicals to grow shit. Full stop. Won't go down that road. Corinne, good to see you. It's not a psyop to make you spend money. It's like shampoo and conditioner. Yeah, what a fucking scam that is. First, your hair, if you don't wash it, just like sorts itself out and becomes clean anyway. But they sell you shampoo. It's got poo in the name, but you gotta have conditioner because the shampoo won't do it. So you gotta buy an extra conditioner. All right. So more money again for the extra bottle of shit. But we can charge you double the money and you get shampoo and conditioner in the same fucking bottle. Yeah. Why do I need the conditioner? Well, the shampoo just doesn't quite crack it, actually. You got like split ends. It's all such a con. The sun is going to burn you to a fucking crisp. What you need is factor 80. Factor 80 costs retail price. You can make 3 installments. The first installment of $9.99, and then after that, $999.99 for this really expensive sun cream. I am 50. I'm gonna have to check with Tony. I don't know how old I am, 56 or 57. I've never put sun cream on. I put like coconut oil once, but I didn't like that either. Don't need it. You're gonna burn. Fucking hell. Stay out in the sun, innit? Beth. But they make money on anything, any old shit. See right through it, me. Perfume, there's a fucking one, isn't it? Do they realize that it's urine? No. I mean, the Chanel, do they realize that it's piss? No, they're spending all of that money on piss. I know, it's a miracle, isn't it? So, it smells beautiful. Oh, what is it? It's the Chanel smell. It smells like piss. It literally smells like piss because it's fucking piss. Piss in it. They're selling you piss. Go for a smoke, Martin. Fault. All right, Martin's fault. Yeah, you go and do you, boo. Being Biggs will be you when you get back. Okay. Don't fall down a toilet. I found Martin in 2050. I like you, Kim Osabi. Thank you for being kind. Have you been following me that long? So you've been seeing all of the changes of Flat Earth British. This is the best version yet, though, isn't it? Huh? Okay, perfectly imperfect. And Alva Billy, love Alva Billy. He's been an awesome person forever. Love to meet you all. We could sit and eat a big fat burger together, Alva Billy. Say how much we love food together. Flames from in hertz or degrees. I don't know, you just broke my head. Jeffrey Bailey, hi, my brother. Thank you. Make sure to comment and let me know what you think about my evidence. I think that I'm right. I really do. I really trust my instincts as well on this one. I really think that Tutankhamun's tomb is a fucking hoax. I really do, guys. Just think about it. It's too elaborate. The whole story is just like a fairy fucking tale. And he even admit, that guy in the book is like, this is 1 billion to 1 that he actually found it. Story behind this just stupid. Oh, thank you. Seaweed juice is good. I love seaweed. We call it lava bread here in Wales, but you can get these thin strips of seaweed. I can't get hold of them. They sell them in some supermarkets. If anyone, I should check on fucking eBay or something. I'd love them. I grew trees on my porch last year, and they're coming back with buds every year. Oh, nice, Morgan. I noticed the nature looks really yummy this year. I don't know if it's me, but just looks so beautiful. All of it. I'm in awe of nature at the moment. Isabel, Kim, Billy. Himo friend, Kimo Sabi, never had a woman. Tom Wakatangi Yangi Uchikimunga, Oranukanang Yangi Uchikifunga. I bet you didn't know I could speak Arapaho. Well, I used to have a Kemo Sabi doll, and I had a Lone Ranger doll, believe it or not. Yeah, I did. A Tonto doll. Tonto's not Kemo Sabi, but I think it is. Just saying. Clue there for something. Bob, I'm going to do something. I got to, okay? I am working on it. I'm just trying to get like a couple, like, when people are going to be around and stuff. You never, I'll work it out. Big Kush, good to see you. Yeah, my brain stopped working, guys. I'm going to have to go soon. I think I've talked too much. I think that is a thing. You can just talk too much. Hey, Martin. Hey, Cheryl. Other Cheryl. Matt Crane, great show. Everyone have an amazing rest of the weekend. Yeah, do that. Yeah, keep your vibration up, guys. Always keep your vibration up. Never let them get to you, okay? And if it does turn to shit every now and again, which it does for all of us, just know that you're going to be all right. Everything, just keep saying that mantra. Everything will always work out for me, guys. Just keep saying that, okay? Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about cults as well. Fuck off cults, okay? Because they seem to be thick and fucking fast on the internet. Jesus Christ. So they soak up people's fucking time and they get nowhere spiritually. Absolutely hurts my soul to see it. Perfectly imperfect. No, it does. Giddy up. Ooh. Loving this classical music today. Oh my God, it's buzzing me out. Ryan, positive energy and vibes for all the chatting tonight. Yes, Ryan, bring the love. Got Ryan wants to bring in the love. Vibes bringing the love. Perfectly perfect. Yeehaw. Oh, I love horses too. Horses are awesome. The beautifulest animals, aren't they? I know. Thank you, Dimps. So yeah, please, if you would share this out. It's not been too unpublishable, I'm sure, or shareable. I haven't said too much. In the way of swear things, I mean. Love you all too. Morgan's loving on you guys. Love Morgan back. Love everyone. Love everyone. Let's be different, shall we? Let's be free of fear. So not giving a shit. Loving on one another and having a good time. It's not really a complicated fucking thing, is it? Anyway, woohoo, Pamela Swan. Divine, good to see you. Have a wonderful weekend as well. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you everyone who subscribes, likes my videos, and spends the time to watch. Okay. Okay, be the change you want to see. That's right. Be your best. Let's be our best selves. That's what I like to do as well. And every day as well, if you can, just be the best person. I'm in observation mode still, and I'm learning the new way of me, and I'm very much enjoying it because I've been always just doing, and now I'm kicking back. Thank you, Perfect One. Thank you, Otto, my brother, and thank you, John. Cheryl, if you're there anywhere, and Ryan Watson. Damn straight. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you for bringing the love. I've got a little Welsh flag going on there. John Fletcher. Welsh flag, me man. Woohoo. My back is actually in a half. I have to go. Breaking pattern. Yeah, we've got to do that, DAC. We'll break pattern. Leave it to me. I do good stuff. I arrange good stuff as well. I arrange the best stuff. There she is. There she is. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Just deserve it. You're in observation mode. Me and Shell's in observation mode. We're learning. Thanks for the giggles, Smalls. Thanks for being here and enjoying the giggles. Thank you. Oh, Atlantean Truth. I seen you above. Thanks for being here, man. And digging my stuff. Oh, it's nice when you get positive feedback. I do get lambasted a lot, though. But I really don't give a shit. You know, you can't please everyone all the time. And I got skin like inch thick. Do you think I'm on YouTube? Do you think if people like poke fun at you, it's going to bother me and run away? Fuck me, 10 years as a flat fucking earther. Have a great weekend, Seb. Thanks, love. Thanks, Rachel, as well. Thanks, Atlas. Thanks, Scott. And thanks, Pam. Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Jordison. Yeah, flat smack like that flat button. Woohoo. Yeah, wiggly flat thumbs, guys. Keep the wiggly flat thumbs. Be a wiggly flat thumbist is being awesome. Okay. And can't tell people what to do. But I would just like, what I do is just be a loving human being, and I'm trying to be more compassionate with everybody as well, which I'm really enjoying as well. Because I get like, when you have beautiful moments or interactions with people, I just get this juicy feeling, man, little ripples, and it just feels so good to have decent interactions with good human beings, doesn't it? Even if they're meaningless. Do you know what I mean? It's just special, and it's important as well to us. It really is. So, yeah, without fear. That's all you get on YouTube is big splutterings of fucking fear. Sick the shit of it. Have a best weekend. I'll sort that out. Jeffrey Bailey, my brother. Lighten the load. In it, bruv. Anyway, I'll be back very soon. Keep an eye on my community page. I will keep you updated on all the things that are happening, which I vary a lot of. Yeah, we got some nice weather coming here in Cardiff. In the next couple of days, it's going to get really nice. Thanks for reminding me, my brother. It's going to get warm, so do stuff. Okay, is that Sketches in the house? Glenn, my brother Sketches. Ain't seen you around, bro. Good to see you. See you in Iron Media's chat, though. But I don't go in there because I get trolled for some reason, even though I've been going there for 10 years. Really weird. and I love the guys. It's the strangest thing. Free soul hippies. But it's not them, it's fucking chat feed. Joy, Marty, and what's that? Pilararo Pip. Righteous, brother. It's the best way to be, bruv. Trying, anyway. Try my best. Thank you, Kay. So I'm guessing you all dig this one this week then, did you? Pretty good, isn't it? Stellar performance again. Thank you, Ryan. Okay, I got to go, guys. This has been nearly, still 600 of you. Make sure to like this video, guys, if you would. I guess some likeage up. There you are. Going up 444. Awesome. That's a nice little likeage number. Nice little secret number. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go make a cuppa because I only have one can of Coke a week, and this is it for you because the sugar helps keep me awake and talk. Oh, thanks, guys. It's been lovely sharing my time with you. I literally look forward to a Flaterday and seeing you guys, getting the community together. Because I think, you know, I just know there's always going to be a good feeling, and it's never not be. And I've done hundreds of these, hundreds. So, Silver Mist, Cymru I Bathbugged. You know, we got some Welsh loving going on here. I'm all for that. Even though nationalism's bollocks. Still love my Welsh team. There's not many of us here. There's more people living in Houston than the whole of fucking Wales. Just to put things in perspective. Like super duper rare as Welsh. Ian Briggs, which is a good thing, actually. I was thinking as well, you know, why was I, you know, when you're thinking like, why was I born here? Why was I me? Why was I this? And I know in my heart that there was a good reason why I was born in Wales because of all its history, yeah. And I'm unraveling it as well, and it is a key to the entire story. It really is, guys. It's a mind blower. It's just how to tell everybody. Just crazy. Non-sheep, good to see you again. Thank you. I'll do a bow. Thank you for that. JS, good to see you. And lovely Joy. Thank you, Joy. Been here since like the make-believe Stone Age, haven't you? Thanks, Glenn, bro. Much love to you as well. Crafty Kim. We need more Welsh people. I think it's nice it being exclusive. Kind of like it, actually. Joe, but not too exclusive, obviously. Don't go to Wales. The animal, I mean, not the country. Don't worry. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. I'll probably be back Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Wednesday. But yeah, I've got like videos to actually publish. I could upload my interview with John LeBon, which is a really good one, especially you old flat earthers. If there's any of you in the chat, reminiscing on some of the old stuff that back in the day, years ago, used to happen. So yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed that. So yeah, I'll be back very soon. Make sure to subscribe, as I said. Links for the event are down below in the descriptions box. And my website is there for books and everything else, and everything you can find out about me and my subjects. So that's been it for this week. No amount of shadow ban. You know, I'm not bothered about all that anymore. I'm not pushing against or for anything. I'm just being and see how everything turns out. I hear a lot of being shadow banned all over YouTube, but it's ticking over. I get by. You know, 70,000 subs. I'm fucking moaning. And I guess like for over 10,000 fucking views every single video. So I'm seriously not moaning. I'm really, really grateful. So there's that. And possibly shadow ban because there should be a lot more, as you know. But I ain't bothered because I like it the way it is. There's that. Thank you, Free Soul Hippie. Free to be me. You be you, I'll be me. There you are. That's my final words. You be you, I'll be me. That's our ability for today. Beautiful words. Thank you, brother. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Stay epic and have a fantastic weekend. Boom Shankar, may the seed of your loins be forever fruitful in the belly of your woman.